Giants' turn to try and answer, and here's Saquon Barkley, and he's off to the races. The 30, the 20, Saquon for 6. Deep to right field. Oh, baby. Put it on the scoreboard. The kid has done it again. Jordan. Open. Chicago with the lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening to everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Lewis Sports Network. Your boy Lewis coming back at you with another live stream with another heavy hitter banger with yet another video. Make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Make sure you guys are sharing this on your social media platforms. Truly appreciate that. How was everybody doing this evening? Salute to the LSM Mod Squad. To new subscribers, make sure you subscribe. Share on your social media platforms. And again, salute to everybody that is in the chat. Salute to you guys. And again, make sure you guys like the video as you guys come in. Let me just check the chat in before I invite Jay. And I already left the link in the chat for those who want to come in and talk about this topic. Let me get the pleasantries out the way. All right. Jay says the reporter Chris Paul not wanting to go to the Lakers is old and possibly new. Same thing when people said Stern Knicks to trade. CP3 wanted the Clippers, not the Lakers then too. That's not Stephen A's original report. He's piggybacking from an old report that looks to still apply now. We know Stephen A, man. He wants to look good every time he gets his sources right because, you know, he wants to have that credible source according to him. Godzilla, shout out to you. He says, oh, boy, it's going to be fun tonight. I guess it will be because Jay was the first guest up on in here, and he is a Russell Westbrook fan. I see you, Jay. I see you. Allison says, good moves. Clock tick, clock tick. The clock is ticking. Wait, what? Why? Salute, Lewis. Shout out to Shocker Trading Club. Pretty much appreciate you. We says, get him out of there. Karam says, any Rocket fans in the chat? Oh, my God. Your boy Karam is loving this. He said, I'm loving every second of this depression the Rocket fans are feeling right now. And he says the ownership is that bad. Jay says, Russ games lack in many areas. Harden's approach on and off the court hampers the team is much more on Russ's offensive shortcomings. Harden and No D Antoni, a.k.a. the Pringle Man, as I call him, created that toxic atmosphere. Oh, it goes beyond that. I would even say Daryl Morey and the owner of the team created that toxic atmosphere, too, for letting it happen as long as it did. Other players have more issues with Harden than Russ. Russ has the power and the contract status to leave a situation and not worry about his money at a later time. That's a good point. Shout out to Ryan. Appreciate you. Shout out to Brandon Nicholson. What's good? Shout out to LBJ. The King. LeBron James is in the house. What's good? Shout out to Joel. What is good, bro? What is going on with you, man? Salute to you guys. All right, salute. Let's get these out the way. Shout out to my main man, Ron Cowan. What is good with you, bro? Up in the building, man. Already, man. I think it did because I had checked it out a long time ago. Anyway, without further ado, let's get my main man, Jay Jeff. That's D the Godfather. My bad. But my man Jay Jeff in the building, man. What's good with you, bro? Hold on. There we go. How's everything going, my man?
Everything's great, man. How are you, Lou? How's everything? How's your family?
I'm great, man. Thanks for asking. My family's doing good, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Shout out to Omar Page in the building, man. Salute to you. Guys, please share this video because so Rocket fans out there, man, we got to tell the truth about your two boys, man, that dynamic duo, or as I like to call them, the two Beta Supremes, a.k.a. a Taco Bell meal that I would never want to order.
Bebop and Rocksteady, baby.
That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, no, those guys would definitely be first. And shout out to Octavius. He says trade him to Charlotte.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, my
Jordan want him.
Yeah, Jordan wants him. I mean, hey, Russell is part of the brand. So I mean, check it out, man. I guess he'd be part of that brand now. He's got his boy. He finally got a star. Shout out to Freddie Gibb. What's good with you? Long time no see. Hope everything is good. And Karam says, Sam Presti, I thank you so much. All right, man. All right, so Jay, let's get down to it, bro. Russell Westbrook, man, after 1 year with these Houston Rockets, man, a lot of people who raved about. See, this is what I didn't understand. I said to myself before, you traded a point guard with a max contract in CP3, and then you got back another point guard with a max contract in Russell Westbrook. After 1 year, the man wants out because he's uncertain about the direction of the Houston Rockets. But you can make a case probably the last 2 or 3 seasons, we don't know what direction this Rockets team is going, even though they just had the best record in the league just a couple of seasons ago. But and I know Russell Westbrook was injured, but just listening to him and just the way that he was just talking about how when he came back, he was just really unsure of himself. And I just said that I feel like you've been unsure of yourself for quite a long time. But what you got on this, man, with Russell Westbrook now wanting out of Houston now, and trying to, go to another team if they could find a way to trade him?
I personally, man, like I didn't understand like why he wanted to go to Houston in the first place. You already knew your boy James Harden is a ball dominant player. So that means if he's a ball dominant player, that means you can't have the ball in your hands like you want to, like you did at OKC. So that means you have to play off ball, and that's not your style. That's not your game. Your game is not predicated off of that. You need the ball in your hands, man, to make plays for yourself or for others. That's you always been like that. So that was kind of mind-boggling why he would want to go to Houston. So I don't know at this point, man, and he's older now too. So I don't know.
Well, here's the crazy part. I think today's his birthday. So he just turned 32 years old. And
wow.
The crazy part about Westbrook is his injuries are really starting to slow him down a lot faster. And usually Russell would usually like tend to recover usually like real quick, like at the time in his 20s. But and I know he just came off of that hamstring injury that he tried to recover like during the bubble. And I know he had COVID as well. But the thing that kind of frustrates me about Russell Westbrook is that as dynamic of a talent that he is, he's never had an alpha type person. You could talk about coach, you could talk about player, but he's never had an alpha type coach or player to tell him, we are not going to play this way to win a championship. You are not the best player on a championship team. And the problem is Russell Westbrook got way in over his head, and he's still that way 12 years into this league. And I said to myself, in order to make yourself into a less toxic of a person, you got to be able to change your game. You got to be able to evolve. And my thing is, Russell Westbrook has not really evolved his game in the 12 years he's been in the NBA. He's going into year 13, and he's still kind of playing the same way. Has he gotten better over the years? Yeah, he has. But what's he lost? He's lost his elbow jumper, something that has been so consistent in his career. He's lost that. Another thing is, he lost his free throw shooting. I don't know how that even ended up disappearing because his free throw percentage was even below 70%. Last season? Right
he
before
usually in the high 80s. Yeah, he used to be in the high 80s. So I don't know what happened. Yeah.
I think the highest he shot was 87%. He's always anywhere from 82 to 87%. But but for some reason he's just he's struggled. And so let me just ask you this real quick. Do you think, is there any team that's going to take a chance on Russell Westbrook now that he wants out of Houston? If there's any team that you think that will take a chance on him, what team would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I mean, the Clippers can definitely use him. I mean, the Clippers can use him. They won't win the title though. They won't win the championship because it's IQ. Really, man. If you're a contender and you trying to win a championship, you're not going to take Russell Westbrook. So, so I'm guessing teams like Detroit, Charlotte, them teams, they're not going to do anything. Them probably going to be the teams, the New York Knicks. Them probably going to be the teams that's going to take a chance on Westbrook to fill the seats. You know what I'm saying? Because he is an exciting player to watch, and he will fill the stadium. He will fill the seats up. But if you're a championship contender, you're not going to take Russell Westbrook. He's just not going to get the job done for you, unfortunately. And he's my favorite player in the NBA, man. I always love that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Just a hard worker, got a lot of heart and stuff like that, man. But it's just his IQ level. It's just not. I don't know, man. It's just not there.
All right, man. So yeah, no, and here's the thing, man. If the Knicks should stay, listen, I know our Knicks have been, that we've been desperate to try to get a star to come to this team, but I'm not ready to give up on Audrey Barrett. I think it would be a stupid move to see if if they would even try to give him up, and I don't think it's worth trying to gut your entire roster to give Russell Westbrook because Russell Westbrook isn't going to get you to a championship. He could probably help you get you to the playoffs. You are in the Eastern Conference, but is he going to get you to a championship? And the answer is no. And the thing is, it's already been proven over time. Russell Westbrook, I know people get on Kevin Durant with the talent that he's played with, but you can say the same about Russell Westbrook. He just has never changed his game, and that's why Russell Westbrook has lost a lot. People can say, he didn't have help when he's got out the first round, but let's be really honest though. Kevin Durant went from playing playground basketball in OKC. He went to a system in Golden State. Not only did Kevin have his most efficient seasons, Kevin Durant ended up winning championships because think about it. Let's say that Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, they run it back in 2016. And after blowing the 3-1 lead to Golden State, let's say they don't beat them the next year. Let's say that they don't do that and they play the same way. Once Kevin Durant got structure, Kevin Durant was able. The thing was, Kevin Durant, his game was evolving, but it evolved even better once he got to Golden State because he really got to learn the essence of team ball. That's what Russell Westbrook has been lacking his entire career, to really learn how to play team basketball. And the thing is, there's some areas where where Russ is very talented in. There's things that he could impact on. That there's things that he can impact on the team. And the thing is also, one of them is also, am I going to get consistent defense from Russell Westbrook, which you haven't always gotten in his career neither. There's times where he'll take plays off. There's time where he won't contest a jump shot when he's right within a play, when he's within a defender. So those are just things that he just doesn't do consistently, which is what's been kind of disappointing. Shout out to Weiss in the building, man. What's good with you, bro?
Yo, what's up?
What's good?
Not much, man. Just listening to you guys.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. What do you feel about this situation?
About Russ, I mean, man, he was one of my favorite players too, but he's not willing to sacrifice to win. He's shown time and time again. He's got great heart, but he just doesn't do the necessary things to want to win. So, I mean, there was a stretch when he was playing with KD where he was taking more shots than KD. Like, that's crazy to me. You're taking more shots than Kevin Durant.
Right.
I mean, but so this is how I look at him. He can take a trash team to the playoffs, but he can't elevate a playoff team to a championship. That's how I look at him.
That's facts. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I agree with it.
No, I definitely agree with you. And like I said, look, Russ is a great player. Like, I'm not taking anything away from Russ in terms of his talent. I'm just saying when it comes to team play and elevating a team to win, like that's the obstacle that Russell Westbrook has as a basketball player. And the thing also is that, and Jay makes a good point in the chat. He has Kobe type leadership, tendencies, but his issue is he doesn't really have a Kobe type game. So I definitely do agree with that. And you can kind of compare him to Kobe. Like he's got tenacity. He's got dog in terms of he plays relentlessly. Kobe was a relentless player, no doubt. But I know, and the thing is, listen, you can have the coaching. People could easily just say, well, Kobe had Phil. But it's up to the player to listen to the coach. If you're not going to listen to the coach, it's not going to work. Even if Phil's got all these philosophies, man, you got to buy in as a player. That's how players make coaches. Coaches make players.
Right.
Coaches teach players the mental part of the game, because the game, you can have all the physical skills you want, man, but your mental makeup has got to match those physical abilities. So if you're not going to if Kobe was not willing to listen to Phil, would Kobe be a 5-time NBA champion? And the answer is no. Kobe could get all the numbers he wants, but he's only going to be remembered as somebody who could put up big numbers, but wasn't able to win on teams when, it mattered. So Russ is a great talent. But the thing is, he needs an alpha beside him, somebody
That's
that's
why
able to play him, to control him, to be able to play, obviously, in the team. Go ahead, Jay. What was you going to say?
that's why I just wish he would have went to San Antonio, because Greg Popovich is the perfect head coach for him because he comes from a military background. He will give Westbrook structure, and he would have to adjust to that. He will have no choice. He will have to adjust with that, or he'll just get rid of him. But Popovich, he comes from a military, like I say, he comes from a military background, so he'll keep him in line. He'll show him how to win. He'll show him how to play team basketball, and he'll show him how to play the game the right way.
And now, I'm not saying that Russell Westbrook is going to elevate the team, to an NBA championship, but I think Russell would have helped improve the team, and I think his intangibles would have showed a lot more had he been able to just obviously learn the team game, really be able to really utilize your teammates. Not just get assists to say, hey, I can pass. Yeah, we know you can pass, man.
We know that. Yeah.
But there's a thing called hockey assist, man.
The hockey assist. I stress that a lot. Yep.
Because ball movement. Listen, when you move that ball, everybody touches that basketball. It makes you much more of a team player. And the thing is, your teammates respect you for that because they're like, well, he really shares the ball and everybody touches, man. First, because Weiss and Jay, you guys know this. Every championship video that I've seen from all historic basketball teams, all the ones that won championships, what are they always stressing about? They've always talked about team, the 15 men, and they share that basketball and they play as one, man, 5 on the court and the guys on the bench. It's all about teamwork.
And it's no egos too. More importantly, no egos. Yep.
Look at Michael Jordan. The dude had to sacrifice averaging 37 points a game to win a championship. He could have got all the points in the world if he wanted to, but that's not going to win. That's not going to win.
No, exactly, because what people forget about Jordan is Jordan loved Doug Collins because of how much he could put in offensively. He loved the output. He said it in The Last Dance. When Phil Jackson took over, because people forget this, I keep saying this all the time. Tex Winter kept telling Doug Collins, "Can we try the triangle offense?" Doug Collins looked at him and said, "That's too complicated. I don't want to try that." You already know that when somebody's not willing to try something different, to try to see if the team will play different and your star player will play different, if that'll elevate them in some way, guess what? You're basically saying to yourself that you're not willing to try something different to see if your team will improve and compete for a title. And obviously the players needed to develop, man. But look, that system, it took them a couple of years for them to develop and really understand that triangle. And Jordan was not a fan of Phil Jackson. Phil said he wanted to lower his scoring from in the mid 30s all the way down to about 23, 24 game. Michael Jordan wasn't happy about that. He said, we're going to be somewhere around the middle. He said maybe 30, 31, around there.
Yeah.
Imagine, bro. Just think about that. Imagine taking 12 points away from a player like that. That's crazy. That's 12 points you're taking away. And imagine you not making those 12 points up with your other teammates. You will be furious.
No, exactly. And so I want to get, and this is and it's crazy, man, but it's like, this is why I call Harden and Russell Westbrook, they're two beta supremes. They're a freaking Taco Bell meal that I would never even try to pay for if I want to satisfy.
Bebop and Rocksteady. Yep.
Nah, I wouldn't even, because the reason I say that is because both of these guys, both of these guys, listen, Harden brings that toxic environment with him. That what his issue is also he's too ball dominant, and like Jay was saying, man, you knew what you was getting into with James Harden when you went to that team, when you asked for that trade. You looked at it as, oh man, I'm reuniting with my good friend James Harden. All times in OKC. What you got to understand is Harden was the third wheel on that team. There's no KD.
He was the ultimate third wheel.
Harden was coming off the bench during those days. Russell was the second. Russell was the second banana who thought he was number one, and Kevin Durant was the number one guy. But the thing is, Kevin really didn't step on any toes or really didn't say anything. He just
because he was like, man, I just want to hoop. That's his thing. I just want to hoop.
He just want to hoop, right?
Because think about it, and that's why I said that I can't really call KD a number one for that reason, because that's the reason. He's got alpha game, but it's like, is he gonna be willing to step on toes? And that's the challenge that KD's facing this season.
He's not a great leader either, man.
Yeah, look, man. Listen, look, KD is an unbelievable player, and I told you, I said it many times. I don't care who don't like it.
I
KD
mean,
is a
hey,
weapon.
he said
Weapon.
it himself. When a player says it himself, you can't argue with it. He said, "Why do I have to be a leader?" He literally said, "Why do I have to be a leader?" What can you say at that point?
Which you can't say anything. You just got to go with what the player says. I know people are gonna feel differently. I know people don't like KD with the move that he made. So that's why I said that, in my opinion, Steph Curry was the leader of the Golden State Warriors, because what did Kevin Durant do? He went to a team that has leadership. The Warriors have leadership. That's
Leadership,
something.
a lot of it.
Steph Curry was, I would say, he was the on-court leader. Draymond Green was the locker room leader. I would say that with air quotes, locker room leader.
Hell
right.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of leadership on that team. A lot of it. Yeah.
And that's why KD was able to and like I said, look, I gave Kevin Durant a lot of credit, man. He went to go snatch that thing. It wasn't like he was just riding the
coattails. Yeah.
They don't win a championship without KD, man. That's a fact, man.
I say they don't win in 2018 without KD. I think if they still had their bench depth from 2016, I think they could have won the chip. But
I don't know about that. Now,
but 2018, no way they were winning a championship without KD. No way.
Nah, the thing with 2016 is, the issue is with that is the Warriors, they're a product of the system. When I look at that team, people, and like I said, that they're a great team. Because the reason I say that is because I go to 2017. A lot of people were ripping Golden State, saying they weren't playing any competition on their way to the finals. And every single time they went against an opponent, it was a player was hurt in every single round. And this was with Kevin Durant missing that entire first round against Portland. Then in the second round, there was no Gordon Hayward against the Utah Jazz, and he came back in that series. And then in San Antonio, Kawhi Leonard got hurt, and we don't know how that series turned out in game one. So that was the excuse all the time. So then when it came to the finals, it was, LeBron and the Cavs, they're going to smoke them. A lot of the dudes in the media, LeBron fanboys and LeBron fans, were saying that they were going to smoke the Warriors. It don't matter if they added KD. And once KD and the Warriors beat them in 5 games, that's when the excuses came in. But I'm like,
crazy thing is, you knew in game one when KD was, the dude was not backing down from the challenge. He was like, "Hey, LeBron, what's up with it? Like, what you gonna do? Come guard me. That's nobody else on your team's gonna stop me. What are you gonna do about it?"
LeBron refused to guard him, man. He was scared. LeBron was scared. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. But you could tell in game one, it was like you could just see in the whole Warriors' eyes, like, nah, we're not just gonna fold. But when this is how I looked at the Golden State Warriors at the time, I said, when your third best option is an open Klay Thompson, how can you beat them?
But you know what? I'm glad that KD went to the Warriors, because if he would just stayed in OKC, I think LeBron would have had a three-peat, man. And then the narrative would have been LeBron is the GOAT. He is the greatest player of all time. Michael Jordan is out of the conversation.
Yep. I think KD could have went to Boston, and they could have won too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's kind of tough. I don't know.
I don't know
how long that would have been. I don't know who they would.
Oh yeah, of course. That's true.
That would have been interesting, because the thing is, you got to understand the way that some of these toxic fans are. I don't know if KD would have won with Boston. I don't know. The thing is, and some people wanted him to go home to Washington.
Nah, that's an L.
That wouldn't work. That's an L right there.
Yeah.
And I said, look at the Wizards right now, because then they would have said, "Oh, KD made a dumb choice by going to why would he go there? Look at that dumpster fire, man. See, he don't want to win." That's the thing.
Okay,
and then Scott Brooks is over there. Scott Brooks is over there too. He don't even like Scotty Brooks.
I told you, Scott.
No. KD does not mess with Billy Donovan. That's one of the reasons why he got out of there too. Because
that's true too.
But the thing with OKC is, I think they could have, if they would have gave it another run, because their death lineup was so deadly with Serge running the 5, and then you had Robertson at the 3, and KD at the 4. Like that lineup was giving Golden State problems.
And people don't know this too. If he would have stayed at OKC, Al Horford was going to join the OKC Thunder. He even said it. He said he was going to sign with them if KD would have stayed. But since he left, then that's when he, I think, went to Boston. Yep.
Do you think they still would have pulled off that trade with Indiana if KD would have stayed, or they actually pulled the trade off with KD on the team? So what am I? Yeah,
and they would have had Oladipo,
they would have
and
Oladipo there.
Al Horford. Yeah, Al Horford. Yep.
Yeah, that would have been
that would have been nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that because if that were to happen, then then the Warriors would have been knocked off, and then Kevin Durant probably would have been in the NBA Finals, and then he would have been going up against LeBron, with the team that they had. And the only issue I have with it though is again, I felt like if they played in a structured system, then I think that their chances would have looked better though, because here's what's so crazy about OKC. They're so talented. For them to get to the Western Conference Finals on talent alone, really without a system.
Without a system.
And the crazy thing about them was, I mean, barring injury, because every season after 2012, they were dealing with injury, except for 2016. That was when they were like fully loaded, like, hey, we could make a run for the finals. Like 2013, that was the first year of Kmart, and I think that's the year Russell Westbrook got his meniscus torn with Patrick Beverly. And then 2014, KD's out, and then in 2015 they get knocked out of the playoffs. So I mean, they weren't healthy until 2016, and we see how far they went in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me fully break it down real quick. So after 2012, we remember they don't pay James Harden, so they let him go. So that was the first year without James Harden. They win,
and they paid Serge. They paid Serge over James Harden. We gotta emphasize that too.
That's another thing too, exactly. And so they do that. Then in 2014, Russell misses 36 games that season, and KD leads them to a 59-win season, and he stayed constant. I think his numbers actually got better during Westbrook's injury, slightly better. I think he was averaging like 34, 8, and 6. I think while Russell was out, he finished with 32, 8, and 5. 32, 7, and 5 was his numbers. But in my opinion, I felt his 2013 season was better than his 2014 season because he had a 50, 40, 90 season, but he didn't even get a single first place vote. The vote went to Carmelo Anthony when I think LeBron was supposed to be unanimous. But I'm like, how did you ignore?
And that was 2013 was definitely LeBron's unanimous season because I mean. Man,
I hate LeBron, but that season was nasty, man.
That season was nasty. You got to give it to him. That season
no. LeBron deserved the MVP. My issue
he deserved. I think he should have been the first unanimous. That
dude was shooting almost 60% from the field, man. That dude was nasty that year, man.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Yeah. Because the only issue I have is that I just don't see how you ignore 28, 8, and 5 on 50, 40, 90. And you help lead your team to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and you don't get a single first place vote. Yeah. Look, that was LeBron's MVP that year. But I'm saying that's just funny. And I'm like, Carmelo gets more credit.
That's really did fucking crime.
And no disrespect to Melo. Melo had a great season, and he led the league in scoring. He won a scoring title. But I'm just like, I just don't see when you lose James Harden, and they're like, well, he still got Russell Westbrook. I'm like, but still, man, they led them to 60 wins in the West. And this is without
wins with the West with no perimeter shooting.
This is Dirk. This is Dirk, Tim Duncan, Kobe. Like, I mean, this is the West.
Hey, keep that in mind too. He won almost 60 games with no perimeter shooting. That OKC
he's the perimeter shooting. That was he's the scoring. That's crazy.
Right. Facts.
Yeah, all right, man. So and it's true, man. So let me get this down, man. So there's 10 trades that I looked up for Russell Westbrook on trade possibilities. And I know James Harden, they're possibly wanting to trade him to Philly, even though the front office said that they're willing to try to build around Harden. But how many times have I heard that and they still haven't been able to get it done?
He's a loser, man.
And I gotta say this, man. The 2018 Houston Rockets, in my opinion, should have ran it back with the same team when they pushed the Warriors to 7 games. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, they had the Warriors right where they wanted them. They had the team.
They sure did.
Oh my God,
that was embarrassing, man.
I'm not gonna let them get off the hook with saying Chris Paul was injured and that's why they lost. No. 16 and 15 point leads in Game 6 and Game 7, and y'all shot yourself out the gym. Like there's nothing that you could say. 27 missed threes. That's what it was.
27 missed threes. NBA record. No excuses, bro.
Straight bricks.
Yeah.
And the thing is, look, man, it's not just the fact that they missed 27 straight threes, but yo, Mike D'Antoni made no adjustments when the Rockets started to lose their legs shooting all those threes. That's number one. Number two, with James Harden, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, yeah, they played well in Game 6, but it's like, yo, you had them up by they was up by 15.
Man, they was getting ready to throw in the towel, man. He had them boys. They was about to throw in the towel.
Y'all had them right in the crosshairs, and y'all. I mean,
people forget. People forget. They mean to cut you off, but people forget that Kevin Durant did not have a good series against the Houston Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. He did not have a good series. People forget that part too. So you have Prime KD who's struggling. You up 16 in Game 6. You up 15 at the half at home. You only lost by 9. You only lost by 9 in Game 7 at home. What does that tell you? That you still had a chance to go to the NBA Finals. You just didn't get it done. You can make all the Chris Paul excuses you want. You did not get the job done even when you had double-digit leads in back-to-back games. And the Warriors had trouble dealing with your defense the entire series. All right, so I looked up 10 trade possibilities, man, and we kind of touched up a little bit on these, but so one trade that they're looking for, one trade that I'm looking at right now. So I'm looking at the Charlotte Hornets, which looks like it makes the most sense for Russell to go over there. That way he could kind of stat pad his numbers over there and stuff like that.
You said Charlotte?
Okay, so here's the package. So they get rid of Westbrook, and they get the Rockets get back Devontae Graham, Miles Bridges, and Nicholas Batum. What y'all think about that deal?
The Nicholas Batum, I see why they got to throw him in there just because of the contract.
Trash. Yeah.
Well, no, but you got to keep him in there just because of the contract situation.
But Graham, he's talented. I like Graham. I like that dude. I like that young kid, man. He got a lot of talent.
That's a good package.
Yeah,
it's decent for Westbrook. It's decent.
Yeah, for Westbrook, it's decent. Yeah, I'll pull the trigger. Houston's not going to win a championship anyway. You might as well rebuild.
And quite honestly, man, if I'm Michael Jordan, the worst owner in all of basketball, in my personal opinion.
Hey,
maybe in sports history.
He only care about that money, so he not tripping off winning.
Yeah, he don't care.
But that's what listen, man. I've said this about Michael Jordan constantly, bro. Michael Jordan, as great of a player as he was, is a terrible owner. Owner. He loves yes men. He loves yes men in the organization. That's why when Charles called his ass out on the fact that Michael was doing a terrible job, that's why Michael Jordan cut ties with Charles Barkley. And listen, I know Mike gets on his defense and all that, but Charles was telling the truth. And listen, I don't always agree with Chuck on a lot of things, but the one thing I will give him credit for is he is outspoken, and when he calls BS, he calls BS. And what Jordan was doing was complete BS, and Jordan didn't like that, and that's why they don't talk at this point.
Hey Lou, speaking of Jordan, I'm gonna go off topic a little bit. Speaking of Jordan, what do you feel about what Isaiah Thomas said about Jordan? He was the fifth toughest opponent he's ever faced.
Well,
he's not.
Listen, I'm gonna touch up a little bit on that. Hey, salute to Sean, man. What's up with you, bro? Hope everything's good with you.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
What's good, bro? Real quick, because I'm gonna kill and I'm gonna destroy Isaiah Thomas tomorrow. I'm gonna destroy this cat.
Come on, dude.
Hey, man, you gotta respect
consistency,
man. You know what I mean? I hate you strong on that one.
Listen.
Don't do it to my guy, bro.
Listen, hey Jay, I ain't pulling no punches, bro. I'm gonna destroy Isaiah Thomas. Listen, I love Isaiah as a player. I love him, and I'm just gonna keep this short and sweet. I don't have an issue with Isaiah saying that Michael Jordan was the fifth toughest player. I don't got an issue with that. He's entitled to his opinion on that. I'm just getting sick and tired of him playing this freaking victim crap. Stop with the victimization, bro. Stop, bro. Just stop.
Hey, the hate in his heart is so strong, man.
Listen, no, look, I don't care if he hates Michael Jordan. Just stop pretending with the nonsense. Look, because see, I can debunk this real quick and expose him for this reason. Everybody's pointing at Michael Jordan as a reason that Isaiah is not on the dream team. And I think he played a part in it. So I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But Did he forget that Magic Johnson and him did not speak for how long after the whole HIV thing?
Oh man, it was years. Yeah,
We talking 20. We talking
20-something years. Yeah.
And guess who was the bigger person and said that we needed to sit down and talk this out? It was Magic Johnson. And guess what? I really don't know what happened in between those guys that Magic did not speak to him for long. And what people also forget was there was other guys on the team that did not want him. Maybe Drexler didn't care. I'm pretty sure
Pippen. I know Scottie Pippen didn't want him there. Pippen made it clear he didn't want him there.
And Isaiah Thomas brushed him aside. Said he ain't a nobody. So
yeah,
my thing is, and the thing is, if y'all saw the interview when Magic went to go hug Isaiah Thomas, the man was boiling tears because he had to deal with all that backlash for so many years. So what I'm basically saying is, Isaiah Thomas didn't even mention about the wrist injury that he had in the 91 season up until he had that interview with Club Shay Shay. And I'm basically saying you didn't use that as an excuse. Because if y'all notice Isaiah Thomas, his story constantly changes. It constantly changes.
He said that about that wrist injury.
A hater changed their own narrative, man. It's just what it is.
He brought that wrist injury when he had that sit down with Magic. He did say that. He did bring it up when he had that sit down with Magic, though.
I'm not gonna say hater. I'll say loser. That's the definition of what a loser will do.
Well, here's my thing with Isaiah Thomas too, man. My thing is that, and I get that the Boston Celtics did this. I get what the Boston Celtics did it too. But did you hear Larry Bird and these guys basically saying, what you would call it, that because I don't hear none of those guys ever say, because Isaiah Thomas is on record as saying this, that the Boston Celtics were his mentors when he's talking about, because he's very close with Kevin McHale.
Yeah, they are. They're great friends. Yeah.
Okay, so very close with Kevin McHale, and Magic was a teacher himself, and the Magic looks at Isaiah as he didn't think Isaiah would get to that level, to get to that point in the finals, which is why their relationship was so strained, because Magic Johnson said this back in I think it was in '93 when they were doing the finals when it was Jordan against Barkley. He said this came out of Magic's mouth. He said that his teammates were wondering, was Magic going to be competitive, and was he going to play to win, or was he going to put his friendship with Isaiah and like not play as hard? So they was wondering, was he going to foul him? I remember Isaiah. I saw the Bad Boy documentary when Magic came and popped him when he went to the basket.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Isaiah was like, what the like he wasn't expecting that. And that's when we saw competitive Magic. And my thing is, when Isaiah mentions about Dr. J, I'm saying to myself, well, you might have faced him in like the regular season, but
they never fought. Yeah, they never played in the playoffs.
You never played Dr. J in the playoffs. So
never. Yeah.
So I'm like, he's like, oh, we got to go through Dr. J. I'm like, you never played Dr. J.
You never played him. I've been watching the Pistons all my life, man. No, they never played the Sixers.
You never played Dr.
With
J.
Dr. J. Yeah.
I said it's crazy. What the Bulls had to go through going against Detroit was what you guys were going through when you went up against
Boston.
Against the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
What Jordan went through was what y'all team went through with the Boston Celtics.
It's a fucking domino effect. Exactly.
So that's why. So that's why I said I don't got an issue. I don't have an issue with Isaiah hating Jordan. I don't have an issue with that. Just own up to it. Stop making all these narratives.
Oh yeah,
he can't own it up, man.
Hey, the passive aggressiveness is so stupid.
And I'm just getting real tired of it because
I am too.
Because people forget when Dennis Rodman made those comments about Larry Bird being white, as a basketball player, and then Isaiah Thomas agreed with him. I know people were like, oh, Isaiah didn't say it, Dennis Rodman was the one. But you have to also remember something. Is Dennis Rodman at that time going to be treated like Isaiah Thomas is? Isaiah Thomas was the star of the team. Isaiah Thomas was the leader of the team. Right. So he piggyback off of what Rodman said. They had a press conference about this issue, man. And Larry Bird was the bigger person. And he said it's not really a big deal. He didn't even care. But Bird didn't like see from that point. And that's the thing that people forget about. That's the thing that people forget about. So yeah, I mean, listen, I'll get on Isaiah Thomas tomorrow, and the reason is because I got clips to where listen.
Hey man, I got receipts. Too. I remember was this 93? I remember when Isaiah on TV on NBC said that Jordan was the greatest player of all time. He said that. He said Michael Jordan. He said Jordan was the greatest ever. He said it.
And
Listen,
fast
man.
forward
Listen,
2020.
man. Listen, man.
Jordan's not my.
No,
Like he's top 5. He's not the top 1, but he's top 5.
well,
You see,
and, so yeah, no, and look, man. Jordan admits that he can't stand the Pistons and he cannot stand Isaiah as a person. He at least said that he was the second greatest point guard of all time. So
He did
Jordan
say that.
admits his hate. Isaiah Thomas is out here capping, talking about that he doesn't have any disdain for Jordan. That's not true, bro. And it's like I could tell. Isaiah, you are an intelligent brother.
Sounds like a bitter woman. That's how he's
Right.
I see right through the bullshit.
He
bro.
mad because Jordan took over Chicago, where he's from, man. I already know what it is, bro.
Man, that's all it is, man. That's all it is.
That's all it is, man.
John Sally
Took over his city, that's where he's from, bro. That's all.
Bro, listen, man. Isaiah is he's one of the best players to ever come out of Chicago. Look, I love him.
He's the greatest player ever to come out of there. Yeah, that's my opinion.
You can make that case, man. I think Anthony Davis is making a case right now. Hopefully, if he could do more, but I think Isaiah is the greatest player to basketball player to ever come out of Chicago.
Yeah.
My personal opinion. You got
him
Marcus
and D Wade. Yep.
Yeah, D Wade. You're talking about Tim Hardaway. You're talking about Terry Cummings. Look, man. Look, a lot of they got their
Tim Hardaway, all them boys. Yeah.
Listen, they got them
Shout
little.
out to the Shy. Yep.
Listen, they got their players, bro. No doubt about it. So I would say, Doc Rivers. I mean, he wasn't a big NBA player, but still.
Nick Anderson, Kendall Gill.
Man. Yeah, no, for no doubt. But all right, man, getting back. All right, so getting back to Russell Westbrook. Like I said, Isaiah, I love you, bro, but I'm about to take your ass tomorrow. Y'all ain't ready for this heat, bro. And I know. And listen, I know Jay loves Isaiah, and I know he keeps it real. I'm telling you, because my thing is with Isaiah, it goes deeper than that. When he said Jordan was the greatest in '93, he said it in 1990 when his Pistons were the defending champs in '89. He said it when he was on our Hall. He said it in '93. He said in '93. Oh, it goes deeper than that. When he was doing games in NBC in that '98 season, he was capping like crazy for both Jordan and Pippen. But now the truth come out. I'm wondering if Isaiah had to say that stuff probably to be nice. Maybe he was holding back. I don't know. I don't know if he was holding back. Who knows? But Godzilla Suplex, man. What's up, man?
What's up, boys?
What's up, homie?
Man, not much. Man, when I saw this title, I was like, ooh, I saw about a day ago. I was like, ooh, it's gonna be good. Ooh. I was trying to tell people when Russell Westbrook came there, I was like, all they going to do is get bounced with that 29% from the 3-point line.
Man, not on Russell Westbrook head, man.
For 4 years in a row, he has shot 29% from the 3-point line. Oh my God.
You see when he stopped shooting threes, how good he was.
That's crazy because even though he's a poor 3-point shooter, he keeps shooting it. Stop shooting the three.
He knows that. Russell Westbrook knows that, but he'll still take him like he's this elite, 3-point shooter when he's not.
Do y'all think he work on it in a gym?
Can
in the summertime?
I mean, I don't care if he's shooting threes like he's Ben Simmons. That's only on the gym, not on the.
No. I'm saying. Do you think he works on his 3-point shot?
I'm pretty sure a lot of players do.
The way I look at Ben Simmons, I think he actually working on that 3-point shot.
No,
I think so, bro. It's just like
that's why. You know what?
I think he is working on it.
He's waiting to that point where he's so lights out that once he starts shooting threes, he
can't see the basket.
He's making them. That's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for them to all go in. That's it.
Yeah,
bro. I need a question from the panel. Okay, I need to ask you something. If they were gonna go small ball, why did they go get Russell Westbrook, a guy that can't shoot and they can't spread 5 deep? That bewilders me. If they were gonna go small ball, they should either kept Chris Paul or got another
kept Paul.
My thing is your center is the same height as James Harden. That's the crazy thing.
And they should have kept Capella. They should have just kept Capella. Why did they just keep Capella?
Bro, your center is the same height as your shooting guard.
Right.
At least get a little bit of height on them. It's crazy to me.
I mean, I think the Rockets, if they want to win a championship, for one, they gotta go back and get Trevor Ariza. That just you have to. He's the perfect 3-and-D
Nah,
center.
this is me on the
He's the
Facts.
him and Capella are the one. Him, Capella, and PJ Tucker were the ones shutting down Kevin Durant and Steph Curry in that series.
And I gotta find a way to get Capella back.
And Trevor Ariza is the number
back.
because remember Trevor Ariza was the only person that left. He went to go play with the Phoenix Suns for a year, and they went from stomping the Warriors to now struggling against the Warriors at full strength without KD. Like, bro, Trevor Ariza was an integral part of that system. If they're gonna win a championship, number one, they gotta go find tall 3-and-D centers. They just have to
go trade for Drew Holiday.
For Drew Holiday,
trade for.
You need to go.
Oh,
you need to be 10 deep because the style of ball they want to play requires a lot of guys to be flipping in and out of the lineup doing the same thing. You need bodies for that type of system, and they're not deep enough as far as with enough 3-and-D players. The worst player that should be getting Ben McLemore should not ever be getting minutes. You know what I'm saying? I like Ben McLemore.
Not Big Mac. Come on, bro.
I like Ben McLemore, but he's not good enough 3-point shooter. He's okay, but you should only have.
He's just good from the corners. Yeah,
he's a corner specialist. But as far as having consistent, they need 2 more good 3-and-D guys on top of what they already have, and they need probably about 2 good centers that can shoot threes and at least have the ability to. I'm not even saying they have to be good defenders.
You are making a wish list of things that they need. And
that's
too much for them already. Like when you need,
that's too much
they don't have to be
They
necessarily. They just
They
just have to be able to shoot They have to be able to shoot the 3 and have the ability to rebound.
Fire that general manager because he's a dumbass.
They already fired.
They did.
Okay, so they just need to push. So they just need to push the reset button and start over again. Just rebuild. Get rid of James Harden and Westbrook. Get rid of Buffalo, man. Just rebuild.
I mean, James Harden, bro. I remember in Luis Velas, I think you were on this live stream. It was somebody debating with me, if you remember correctly.
It was
somebody telling me that James Harden was better than Kevin Durant, and I just started laughing.
Huh?
Bro, literally, somebody literally debated me. He was like, James Harden's gonna do it. We'll see in the off playoffs, bro. James Harden. That was the year that James Harden literally choked and missed 24
James
threes.
Harden.
To be
it's
fair,
the Tony
James
Romo
Harden
of the NBA.
To be fair, James Harden has really only lost to 2 teams in the playoffs. We gotta give him his props. He's only lost to 2 teams.
He's a loser, man.
James Harden chokes consistently, bro. He almost got his.
I'm not gonna say consistently. Wait.
James Harden is a bona fide loser, bro.
You're mixing up
Dort
choking.
Almost outplayed James Harden. I'm sorry, bro. I would never forget that. It was one block away.
Hey, let Lou say something.
Being ended by nobody.
Wait. Guys, real quick. Hold on.
He's not a.
Hold on. I gotta get on this real quick because I gotta stop right
Hey,
with James Harden, I can't blame him for what happened this season right now in terms of the bubble. James Harden actually played well. The problem was that Russell Westbrook was not 100%, so that allowed the Lakers to trap him. I said that play style wasn't going to win anyway, despite all that. But James Harden really never got to do his thing in that series. And I get the ball dominant play style that he does, but he really didn't really get to do his thing because they were trapping James Harden and they were taking the ball out of his hands. But I said that they were going to win in 5 games. I'm really more pissed off with James Harden more so the last 2 seasons when they had chances to knock off the Warriors. Because if you look at 2018, they should have beat them. And then if you look at 2019, Kevin Durant got hurt in Game 5. You have no KD, so that means you could really focus your defense on Steph. And the fact that Steph was still able to outplay you in Game 6, he played you and Chris Paul, especially in the 4th quarter. That's why I have a correct with James Harden. And then if you look at 2017 in the closeout game against San Antonio, I was going to say that. Yeah, I was just basically going to say that I have an issue with that one because he only scored 11 points and you only took 11 shots. And first of all,
I got blocked by old ass Ginobili.
How many shots did he take in the 4th quarter? Was it 1 shot or 2 shots in the 4th quarter?
It was 1 shot. And the thing is, there was no Tony Parker because he was injured, and no Kawhi Leonard because he was out too with an injury. So you're telling me with 2 of those key players, Tim Duncan just retired. You mean to tell me you only take 11 shots?
That was the year Zaza a cheap shot, huh?
And got blocked by old ass Manu Ginobili. Ginobili like 40 years old, 50 years old, blocking James Harden's shot.
Hey, with a landing trip on this.
Bro, I'm sorry. Like people keep on saying James Harden's this transcendent player near Jordan
No,
level.
he's not.
You
no,
don't.
he's not.
You
He's a
don't.
transcendent scorer.
You
He's
don't get
he's a
stopped
transcendent
by
scorer, but
Louis
he's not
Dort.
a
Like
player.
I'm sorry. Like it's not me because I don't blame him for what happened with the Lakers. That's just their offense and the way they played and the different pieces they had. And somebody getting beat. How do I phrase it? Somebody getting trapped in the locker room, or not in the locker room, in the bedroom. Let me put it like that. But it's just like particularly with.
Let me just look at the comments real quick.
Oh my God! Sorry,
Wait, what'd you say?
sorry.
No, give me real quick. I'm just gonna check the comment section real quick because just want to look at the comments and see what people were saying.
Oh my gosh.
Jay says Isaiah still holds that title for the best for the Chicago. Wade didn't pass him. It's no. Isaiah's the best from Chicago. Wade's had a great career.
Yeah, Zeke is the best ever from that city, bro.
He's the best in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jordan doesn't like. Yeah, Wade was great, but yeah, Isaiah's on another level, bro.
Isaiah on another level. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the reason
Zeke, bro.
Isaiah Thomas isn't direct when he talks about Jordan is because he is a sneaky brother. I've been saying that about Isaiah Thomas.
They both sneaky. Jordan and Isaiah both sneaky. They both sneaky.
Both of them, yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah, they both sneaky, man.
That's a fact. I said this. Listen, man. I said this about Jordan. Both him, Isaiah Thomas, and you could even put a LeBron James in there.
LeBron.
They are.
They send him subliminal media shots, man.
All of those dudes.
Man.
Passive aggressive, man.
They both be acting like they on their period. They all three of them act like they on their period, bro.
LeBron wouldn't say shit until until you talk to the referees. Like,
no, he don't. No. He don't say nothing until he wins. That's when he talks tough. That's when he talks tough. Is when he wins.
That's the reason why. That's one of the reasons why I don't like about it, man.
Hey, when he wins,
when he lose.
Have you ever heard a "I'm Kevin Durant" type of comment from LeBron James in the middle of the playoffs?
No,
I've heard he said he's the best player in the world in the NBA.
I said it. I heard that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I also heard that he was the GOAT. He called himself the GOAT. I heard that too.
The only GOATs he was chasing was in Chicago. That one too.
Yeah. What I love about people who try to make that argument, I love how they just skip over Kareem. Like Kareem just doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
The thing with Kareem is like
Kareem played in the 70s, the weak era.
That's what I'm saying. The first half of his career, like he was playing.
And he played with Oscar Robertson and Magic. He had 2 point guards, bro.
I mean, you can say it, but LeBron James stacked super teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you compare it to like that, okay, Wade was a top 5 player the year before they joined up together.
Yep.
Bosh was 12 MVP
top
voting.
3 player. He was a top 3 player.
No.
Wait, he was a top 3 player.
MVP voting. Wade was number 5.
Yep.
Bosh was number 12.
And he was
Can somebody tell me if Clay was ever in the top 10 in MVP voting, even when he was with Steph Curry?
You know what's funny though? He wasn't, but I remember when Charles Barkley said he was the second best player. I think the season that Kevin Durant went there, it was funny. He was like, "Yeah, Klay Thompson's the second best player in the world right now."
What?
He said that, bro. He said that. No, Charles Barkley said that.
Charles Barkley was the
second. I'll say the second.
He said he was no. Second best player. He said he was the second best player.
Klay Thompson,
fat ass need to sit down somewhere, man.
Man, what's up with people? Them acting like Draymond and Klay Thompson were great before Steph Curry because
Draymond Green is
Draymond. They've only played with Steph Curry.
He's overrated.
He's a bum, man. You put Draymond Green with the Atlanta Hawks, he is trash. He will never get no minutes. He won't get no minutes.
I respect
garbage ass.
That's just what it is.
I respect Klay and Dre because Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. They all got good together.
Great.
They all got good together with Mark Jackson.
The only guys on that team for those before Kevin Durant came there that could play on another team without Steph is Klay. Like Draymond, do you see the triple singles now? You know, Charles Barkley.
Draymond, the biggest front runner, and he's the biggest front runner in the NBA.
Over 25 points over a few games, I think 3 times in the season, but You know you gonna lose.
You put Draymond Green. You put Draymond Green with the Atlanta Hawks. He putting up Stacey King numbers. Fuck out of here.
I mean, he's the Atlanta Hawks, man.
No way.
There's a point in taking effort on the Atlanta.
Fuck out of here, man.
Wait, one thing though, I gotta respect Draymond Green on his 2016 finals performance. I gotta give him that.
Oh yeah,
he was doing his thing. I can't disrespect that.
That's because of Curry and Klay Thompson. He's a system player, bro.
He's a front runner.
He's the product of the system. Put him with the Atlanta Hawks. He's putting up Stacey King numbers. That's a fact.
The only person on that team, like all those guys on the Warriors were getting looked down on. I mean, look at Iguodala, hurt, couldn't make it out of the first round or maybe even the second round in some cases. All those guys were really looked down upon, especially the veterans. David West lost to LeBron James when he went to Miami. Like, look at all the players that Steph Curry has elevated, but they'll only talk about who LeBron's elevated. Like, LeBron takes in scraps and makes something out of nothing. It's like, so was he making scraps?
You take them scraps, and also if they did not do no effort, he'll fire their ass.
Like, okay, he took scraps, but where was the scraps last year? What was he taking last year? I need to know.
They took a mental break.
I need to know. People disrespect Anthony Davis is the third all time in PER next to LeBron and Jordan.
Anthony Davis should have been Finals MVP.
But he had a because he messed up.
LeBron deserved that.
That's the same reason why Steph Curry didn't get Finals MVP is because you have one bad game and then your co-star has.
AD had that one bad game. He had to be perfect. I said for him to get the MVP, he had to be perfect.
Consistent throughout. That's why.
I don't care. AD is perfect on that final series. They'll still give it to LeBron as long as he had at least he had 25 points.
It was AD. It was AD MVP to lose, man. He lost the MVP.
Oh yeah, he lost
was going
the
to
third game, and it's like okay, LeBron James had he had a 40-point game, and then he came around had 28-point triple double. I mean. You can't really argue with those two games compared to that game 3.
LeBron was very consistent. LeBron was
the
consistent,
award
bro.
is based off of this consistency. In one game that elevates above the consistent play. That's
now I need to say this because Anthony Davis, third all time in PER. The dude got further than LeBron James the year before. People act like he was a loser.
I love AD, but he's not better than Tim Duncan. I want to throw that out there too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, everyone knows that he's better than Tim Duncan.
Where did this even come? It's like saying Prime Dwight Howard's not better than Rudy Gobert. You're just dumb. Please stop. Please stop.
Because Dwight Howard was dominant offensively. So I
went to the games. I'm an Atlanta Hawks boy. Okay, I went to the games and saw this dude dominate. Like just jump straight over Josh Smith, make him look like a little man. Josh Smith was a big dude when he was playing.
It's crazy that people say he's not a Hall of Famer. That's crazy to me.
Dwight Howard is a Hall of Famer.
No, of course.
Bro, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Where are we talking? He can be a first ballot depending on who he's going up against.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that is insane. That's just how much people hate. You got Shaq. And I'm going to clap back. I don't know why Shaq is so insecure about Dwight Howard, bro.
I don't think he's a first ballot, but he's a Hall of Famer. He didn't have enough peak.
Shaq look at him as a bum.
He's bargain bin shit. I mean, Dwight Howard
must have hit one of his girls or something because he just does not.
Are you sure he actually hitting girls?
No.
Maybe his boy.
It might have been sometime in the early parts of Dwight Howard's career, but
before
of course before he was getting his back blown. Before that,
pause.
But I'm saying.
Oh, but look, dude, I'll just say this about Dwight Howard. Like, when you take if that back injury doesn't happen, the Lakers might have a championship if they get First of all, like for Shaq to come at Dwight, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so bad. It's so petty. Dwight has been averaging double doubles ever since he broke his back. With a broke back, he's been averaging double doubles. He's the
nobody talking about. Nobody talks about that Charlotte Hornets season he had when he averaged 17 points, 17 rebounds, some shit like that. Yeah.
And then on top of that, you gotta look at Dwight Howard. They might not be getting out of that Nugget series if it wasn't for him. He was one of those key interval parts. He may have had a limited role in the Blazers series and in the finals to a certain degree, but in that particular sense, that's why the Lakers won because of versatility. Any matchup they can match it with their own lineup, whether it was small ball, big ball, bully ball, anything they wanted to do, they could have to adjust to the situation. They were never in a position too long where they were outmatched. The only team that outmatched him was just one man. It was Jimmy Butler. He outmatched them for 2 games.
I think Frank Vogel is underrated. I think he's an underrated coach. I think he's a good coach, man. He just never had the players around him when he was with Indiana. He had Paul George, but that was about it, man. I mean, he didn't have nobody really.
They had a good construct. They just had a really good system. And to get that close to beating Miami, you know, being 2 top 5 players and 1 top 20 player, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
You know, I just think that, you know, for me, when people bring up the GOAT conversation, they like to conveniently sweep.
Godzilla, hold on real quick. Mrs. Thomas has a question. She says she's got a question for the panel. Before I get into these other trade possibilities, she says, what game in the 92 playoffs did MJ get carried by his team big time? Anybody care to answer?
Crickets.
My thoughts exactly.
He's never been carried. Who carried Michael Jordan?
If Michael Jordan didn't show up, they ain't winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nobody carried him.
It's Michael Jordan and the boys. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, bro, and I have a question. Okay,
it's like David Ruffin and the Temptations, man. He is the lead singer.
Like, bro, can we just acknowledge how much it took people getting in the way of Jordan for him to get to his win? Dude knocked out his second best player, Bill Laimbeer, so he could get him out of the way so they could win that game 6. That's what it takes. You have to knock out people to beat Jordan. Like, what? I don't see nobody knock out LeBron's help. I don't see Wade getting knocked out here.
Nah.
It's like, come on, bro. It's like people want to take all stats and take it all without context.
I hate Michael Jordan, man, but he is the GOAT, man. And it's as simple as that. It's just simple as that, bro.
And I think people they like to take the context out because it would expose that. We all remember what happened in 2011 when Jason Terry was making LeBron James look not like the best player in the world.
Yeah, 8 points in the NBA Finals, something that Jordan never did.
I mean, Jesus, man. Jordan scored more in a quarter when he beat the Phoenix Suns in 93.
Right.
He scored all 12 points, and then John Paxson hit that 3 in the corner.
Yeah, man.
But it's like, what? 8 points, like, bro. And then if you look at the footage, it's even worse. Just the mental thought that Jason Terry, and it wasn't even young, it was old Jason Terry, outplaying LeBron. What?
Yeah.
After LeBron James just be a superior point guard and Derrick Rose in the conference finals dominate that whole team?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, I'm gonna say this, Godzilla. Here's the thing with that NBA final before we continue with the trade possibilities. The thing is, even if Jason Terry is young, even if Jason Terry is old, it doesn't change the fact that LeBron has a 6 to 7 inch height advantage over Jason Terry, and there's no way that Jason Terry has any foot speed to be getting by an athletic freak like LeBron James. It doesn't matter, young or old. There's just no excuse for getting blown by like that. And so I'm gonna just leave it at that. But all right. So the next trade possibility for Russell Westbrook, we got the Milwaukee Bucks. So their trade package we got Eric Bledsoe, Ilyasova, Robin Lopez, DJ Wilson, and Goran Dragic's his brother, Dragon Bender. Dragon Bender.
What?
I said he was his brother, but no. I meant that's the trade package.
That'd be a first round exit for the Milwaukee Bucks.
I think that the Bucks should pass on that.
Yeah. They already have a problem with dynamic shooting. Let's go get a non-dynamic shooter. Yeah, guys, great idea.
Right.
It's like with Russell Westbrook, he should just go on. The Horns should just go on and get him. The Horns are going to get into the second round maybe one times.
Westbrook just doesn't fit in today's NBA, man. He just doesn't fit, man. Not in today's NBA.
All about shooting threes.
Yeah, he doesn't fit, bro. I hate to say that. He's my favorite player, man. I fuck with Westbrook for real. But he just doesn't fit today's NBA, man.
He loves to talk the trash and then get hit on by Damian Lillard. Bro, like he'll talk junk. The other player will get better. He'll get worse. It's like, huh? Wait a second. Shut up.
Yeah. Bro, hey, Big Lou, what's the other trade possibility? What's the other ones?
Let me just show you real quick. So we got Milwaukee. All right. Oh, how about this one? Indiana Pacers. The Rockets get Victor Oladipo, Jeremy Lamb, and Doug McDermott. I think that helps the Rockets in terms of their depth.
Oh, they get shooting. Yeah.
Mm.
It helped the Rockets for depth purposes. And they shooting.
So Michael Brogdon plus Westbrook.
Oh my God, that's not gonna work either.
That has so many question marks on it.
Oh my God, that gonna be a weak ass team. That team is not gonna do anything.
Like, and don't get me wrong, Brogdon's a great. He had a 50-40-90 season, but Westbrook mixed with.
He's gonna mess it up. Yeah, Westbrook is gonna mess it up.
Westbrook with Graham in Charlotte.
Just put Westbrook with Detroit or Charlotte. That's it. The two teams he needs to go to.
Just put him there.
You wrong
Detroit or Charlotte. Yeah, man. We'll take him. We'll take him this deep. We'll take him.
He should just go to the Knicks, so he can put up all those numbers. Everybody can be like, "Wow!" In the first
Listen. I'm a Knicks fan for life. I don't want to see Russell. I got Westbrook. I don't want to see Russell Westbrook on the Knicks.
Hey, I'm a Detroit Pistons fan for life, man. Born and raised in Detroit. I would love to have Westbrook on our team. I would love to have him there. Put up those triple doubles there. Put up those triple doubles there. Put those triple doubles up there, man. Shit.
The thing is, also, I don't know how Russ is going to do with the New York media, man. Especially if he has a bad game, I just don't know how he's going to be able to deal with that. So, I mean, I know Russ is he got an alpha mentality when it comes to the media. He don't give a f about anybody. Whenever he does his thing.
That's what I said.
It's ruthless.
That's what I said. Go to Detroit, man. And Dwayne Casey's your head coach. He can't coach anyway. So there you go.
I mean, he did win Coach of the Year. Wait a second. He did win Coach of the Year, but when he got fired.
Yeah, but he got fired.
He got fired.
Bro, Mike Budenholzer got Coach of the Year twice, and we know how that turned out.
Dwayne Casey sucks, man.
Well, I mean, it's a regular season award. Let me rephrase. That's a regular season award. If we were getting awards for the best coach in the playoffs, it would look very different.
Dwayne Casey is trash.
I'm sorry, but how mentally just I don't get it. I'm looking at the games with him and Giannis. Giannis is handling the ball, and I'm just like, he's a big. Why is he handling the ball? What he can at moments, which makes him a little bit more dynamic. But putting the ball in his hands every possession is not
because they don't trust Eric Bledsoe.
I mean, I wouldn't trust him either, but
Eric Bledsoe is not a playoff performer. We've seen it time and time again.
Playoff choker.
But put up some nice numbers in Phoenix, but that's because the pace was
empty stats. Yep.
Style of play.
Yep.
When you have to make him play half court, he's useless on the court.
Right.
All right. Next trade possibility. We got the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Rockets get JJ Redick and Drew Holiday.
Ooh, I'll put Westbrook on the Pelicans. That'd be fun to watch. With him and Zion, oh hell yeah, that'd be fun to watch. Yeah.
I don't know why that idea's winning me over a little bit, but you already got Lonzo Ball. But then if Lonzo Ball gets his shot better, that would be interesting to see.
That'd be fun to watch,
that would
man.
be interesting.
Hey, I would love to see them on TV every night. Yeah.
It'd be a circus show, I'll tell you that.
Here's my question to y'all though. Do y'all think that Russ going to that team though stunts the growth of those young guys though? Because you do have Brandon Ingram on that team too though.
Oh yeah.
Okay, bro.
But you're taking away Drew Holiday, so
I think that Russ might adapt.
They're gonna score a lot of points though. That team gonna score, boy. They're gonna be one of the best scoring teams in the league. They gonna put it up there.
But then it comes to the point where sometimes they want Brandon Ingram to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Russell cannot play off ball, which is his number one weakness. He cannot play off the ball at all.
He can't.
Like,
he can't.
That's the problem. Like here's how scary that is. He's so bad off the ball that I think Lonzo Ball is better off the ball than Russell Westbrook.
He is.
That's scary. That's really scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
Might as well just put like Russell as like a shooting guard while Lonzo be a point guard. And it's like stay away from keep from off the ball. That's just me in my opinion.
See, but then if you do that though, that's going to be
the
first time him actually playing in the system. And my thing is Russell going to be able to play off the ball? See, that's going to be the question because at least with Lonzo, he can make plays with the basketball and he can play off the ball. And Lonzo's only been in the league, 3 or 4 years? Russell's in year 12, going into year 13, still not knowing how to play off the ball. So that's something that I'm wondering.
It's a bad deal. Let's see.
He's too stubborn. What's the other trades? Yeah, I want to hear the other ones. Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Let's see what we got over here. So I didn't even think about this team. That's crazy. He could definitely put up numbers over there. The Orlando Magic.
Lord.
The Rockets get Aaron Gordon, Terrence Ross, and Al-Farouq Aminu. That's already pretty much.
It's actually pretty good.
But he got Aaron Gordon and Vucevic. Yeah.
Vucevic plus this Westbrook.
Whoa,
Aaron Gordon. Yep.
Russell actually played. Yeah, no, but Aaron Gordon goes to the Rockets. He doesn't stay there.
Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Russell does. Hold on. But I'm gonna say that I think that Russell and Vucevic actually would be a nice pairing. Only issue is he can't take away those rebounds from Vucevic, so he's not gonna be averaging as much neither. That's another thing.
I think with Russell Westbrook's skills, the question should always be, and I think it's always rimmed around his stats. It's always about Russell's ability, not his ability to fit and make his teammates better. You know, if you're getting the rebound, Russell, or not me speaking to Russell, but just saying for reference, right? It's not good that he's getting 10 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Would it be better him getting 10 rebounds or him already be halfway up the court, ready to catch the ball and put pressure on the defense on the fast break and transition?
That's a great point.
It's those kind of things that take away your stats but make your teammates better because you're playing more efficiently and more smartly.
But Westbrook doesn't care about making his teammates better. He always cares about personal stats. He doesn't even care about winning. He don't care about winning. He doesn't play winning basketball. He doesn't have the championship pedigree that you need.
And you know what he reminds me of? Even though I love Westbrook, he reminds me of Carmelo.
Yep.
And I can't stand
that's screwed up, man.
I remember an interview he had when they went against the Pacers and Paul George and they lost that series. I remember what Carmelo Anthony said, I don't care, I'll do whatever it takes for the Knicks to win. If they want me to score 65 points, I would do that for my team to win.
On 20% shooting.
If they want me to score 60, I would do that. Why would you even say that, man? Get your teammates involved, bro.
I wish he should stay over in
that sounds so cynical right there.
Yeah.
I
just laugh, bro.
Bro. Here's how bad it's a question. Russell, does Carmelo have an MVP?
No.
Russell
never.
Westbrook, you could say Russell Westbrook's better than Carmelo, and that's sad.
Yeah, he is better. He's better than Carmelo.
Better.
Yeah, he's better.
He's had more playoff success than Carmelo.
Yeah, it's way more
sad for Carmelo because I think Carmelo's more talented than Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook been to NBA Finals. He's been to NBA Finals. Yeah.
Russell's had a better career.
But I would have to say, without Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook has been a complete train wreck.
Yeah, I agree.
Other than his triple-double season, he's been a complete train wreck on every front.
Seasons.
Every time he touches the playoffs, it just disaster strikes.
Trying to get a triple-double.
He just wants to do everything himself. Like he doesn't know how to accept help. That's his problem. He doesn't know how to accept help.
He doesn't know how to play winning basketball.
Yeah, that's it. He doesn't know how to play team winning basketball. He refuses to do that. Yeah.
You don't make the necessary sacrifices that champions are supposed to make.
Look at all the greats that won championships. They all had to make some type of sacrifice for their team.
Hey, look at KD. KD sacrificed his reputation to win the championship. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think with great. Oh, okay. I was just making sure I wasn't interrupting somebody. Like, if you look at everybody, Tim Duncan, when he got older, sacrificed stats for winning.
Right.
I mean, his greatest accomplishment.
Tim Duncan sacrificed stats for winning when he was younger.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's true.
His greatest achievement is being the 2013-2014 Heat. At that age, even though he had Kawhi Leonard, but that wasn't the same Kawhi Leonard that was with that came later. he was still emerging, and to beat that team with LeBron James, the best player on planet Earth, Dwayne Wade still being a top 10, top 15 player, he was dealing with injuries, and Chris Bosh was a top 30. That hats off to him, man. The Duncan deserves more respect.
I ain't gonna
Duncan,
compared to Anthony Davis.
Hey, really, if Duncan would have just cared about his stats, you could make a case he could be the GOAT, man. Tim Duncan is one of the most impactful players in the history of basketball, man.
He made the playoffs every year of his
career. Single year.
That's insane. No matter what the scenario, no matter what the situation, he took two guys that were 50th in picked ranking, Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, and made a dynasty out of them.
Yep.
Now, of course, he did have David Robinson.
Well, David Robinson was on the tail end of his career. We're not going to do that to Tim Duncan.
You know what I'm saying? But that's still.
But David Robinson wasn't winning until Duncan got there.
That's what I'm saying. David Robinson wasn't even.
What?
He wasn't even he wasn't the same David Robinson when Tim Duncan got drafted.
I mean, but he was still better than Tim Duncan. I mean, even at the time, he was still better than him.
No.
You can look at the numbers. You could either say they were even, or Duncan was better a little bit.
I guarantee you, if they didn't draft Duncan, they don't go to that championship and win in '99.
Of course.
But they got lucky because, I'm not gonna say lucky, but they the cards fell in their place because didn't David Robinson get injured before?
Yeah. It took him to get injured for them to get.
That's how they got Duncan.
Yeah,
that's how they was able to get Duncan. Right.
Yeah.
But I would say David Robinson. I'm saying he has a lot. Like for me, like if Kevin Garnett got David Robinson, they win too. So it's just like, okay, well, the cards fell in his favor at first. You think Kevin Garnett, who won MVP and led his team in almost every statistical category?
I'm not gonna say David Robinson. I'm gonna say
I got something to say right quick. I got something to say. Big Lou, I got the utmost respect for your Knicks back in the day and Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing is one of my favorite players, man. I always got the utmost respect for Ewing.
Too much.
I was upset that he never won a championship. I was very upset.
Gets disrespected.
And I want you to do a future video, Lou, on Patrick Ewing, man. Why he didn't never win a championship. I think that'd be a great video for everybody.
Number one reason Michael Jordan is John Starks.
Hey, John Starks is
like, bro. Look, let me say this, bro. About when people say that Scottie Pippen was a top 5 player of his era, that's insulting because for number one, Scottie Pippen had one great season. He was a top player. And then let's not look at the next season when Horace Grant leaves the team. They barely struggling over 500. I thought Scottie Pippen was that boy. I thought he was a top 3 player. I thought he could lead his team no matter who was on the team.
Come back, Michael.
Play with the GOAT right
there
most of that time. And
come back, Michael. I can't do it on my own.
Wait. And then he goes to the Rockets. If he that boy.
And shut them out for 1 year. After one season, shut them out because he was trash.
Oh my god! Like, bro, literally anybody that say that, okay, people will harp on Patrick Ewing choking, but guess what? He choked as the number one player. Scottie Pippen choked as a second player. Not only that, but when he became number one, Patrick Ewing beat him in a 7-game series. He beat him mano a mano. So how can you say he's better in his best season? He beat him mano a mano.
I thought Patrick Ewing best chance of winning. I think Patrick Ewing best chance of winning wasn't even in '94. I think it was '99, but he was hurt in that series against the Spurs.
I agree.
Because he had perimeter players. He had Allen Houston. He had Latrell Sprewell. You know what I'm saying? He had Larry Johnson. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I ask somebody, what was Pippen doing in '99? I need to ask, what was Pippen doing?
Ring chasing.
Hey,
ring chasing.
You know it's a problem when the game-winning play is not drawn up for you. It's drawn up for somebody.
Tony Kukoc.
And
Kukoc had 3 or 4 game winners that season. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Patrick Ewing, dude doesn't get enough credit. 5 conference finals appearances.
And I love his sneakers, by the way, too. Them Ewings go hard.
Like Ewing, and it's just sad. Losers don't get remembered. Bro, Karl Malone, don't hear about second all time in points. Like, don't hear his name. Never. Stockton.
That's because he's a bad person. That's why you don't hear his name.
Fuck Karl Malone and fuck Stockton.
Wait, don't put my boy Josh Stockton in that.
He's overrated. John Stockton
overrated. Most overrated player in the history of the sport.
Overrated. He's all time in steals and points. How is he overrated?
Overrated, bro. Go check out my video with Lou, man. I'll tell you why.
Wow.
We can all name point guards in the 90s that'll wash John Stockton.
Mark Price was better than John Stockton,
Mark
bro.
Price.
Yeah.
Bro, John Stockton top 5 or top 10 all time. Come on now.
No, man, I can name you 10 point guards better, bro.
Okay, I can see the assist. Okay, but what about the steals? Why is he number 1 in steals all time if he wasn't a good defender? I need to know.
He played passing. Wait, hold on. That's the same reason why
19 seasons, 2 NBA Finals appearances.
Oh my God, the disrespect is unreal.
Well, you think Steph Curry's a great defender?
No.
But there's a season, but he let the steals. But he let the league get steals before. So I mean, steals don't mean you're a good defender. It just means you know how to play passing lanes.
Because you know how to play passing lanes. Exactly. Facts. Allen Iverson always led the league in steals, but he wasn't a great defender.
So I'm just saying. He's all time in steals, all time in assists. Like
I'm not saying
John Stockton's not a superstar. I just played he's 40 seasons. Yeah.
John Stockton's good, but I think he's overrated because of
this dude was getting outplayed by Terry Porter and Kenny Smith, KJ, and Gary Payton in the playoffs, man. John Stockton's overrated.
His stats are purely longevity based.
Oh my.
John Stockton played like 50 years in the league, bro.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I'm not saying he's the greatest, but Jesus, man, like give this man his proper respect.
Oh, he gets his respect.
He doesn't. Not for me,
bro. If it was not for Jordan, he would literally probably have a 3-peat, and y'all opinions would be changing about him. Put 2 championships on John Stockton and Karl Malone's shoulders, they would be. Karl Malone would literally probably be in the GOAT conversation.
Guess what? Put Isaiah on that Utah Jazz team. They win like 4 or 5 championships, bro.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
all right. Let's calm down there.
Ain't no calm down on nothing. Fuck that. Put Zeke on that motherfucking team with Karl Malone. They win championships, bro. John Stockton is overrated. You know why I say that? Because Isaiah know how to take over a game. He know how to make his teammates better. He know when to do both.
John Stockton didn't make his teammates better. I mean,
he's a stat player.
He pick and roll to the most assists. I'll give him that. 1-4 pick and roll.
Hold on, real quick. You're talking with John Stockton. You were saying if you replace him with Isaiah, listen. John Stockton, his biggest issue was he didn't take chances when he needed to. As you put Isaiah Thomas with Karl Malone, they win in the championship.
Oh yeah, they for sure win the championship, just not 4.
Because I think, bro, just look what he did against the Lakers in '88.
Yes, on a bum ankle. Yeah.
Look, bro, I will fully concede that Isaiah Thomas is better than John Stockton. I'm just saying, let's give John Stockton his proper credit and critique of his career.
No. Listen, when it comes to in the 90s, John Stockton is definitely top 10 when you look at his career. And I know he kind of had a late start because he didn't start until I think it was his 3rd or 4th season.
Yeah, because he was off the bench, for the first 3 years,
John Stockton's issue is not his numbers that he put up in the regular season. It's more so his numbers in the playoffs. And the thing is, it's more so in key matchups that he's gone up against. When you look at his regular season career, Stockton is among the best point guards to ever play the game. I'm still giving him his credit. He's one of the greatest point guards to ever play. No question about that. Jay's just touching more so that he just feels like as great as John Stockton is, you should not be getting outplayed in the playoffs by some of the matchups. You look at guys like Terry Porter. He got outplayed by him in the 92 conference finals.
Yeah.
He's talking about that. You're talking about there was a time, I think it was in 96. I think it was in 96 playoffs. He got outplayed by Gary Payton.
Got outplayed by Kenny Smith. In 94, got outplayed by Kenny Smith.
And that's what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
Like that's the issue that Jay's got. But again, great player, great point guard, one of the greatest ever for sure. And he was a top 10 in the 90s.
93 got outplayed by KJ. Kevin Johnson outplayed him in 93. Like, come on, man. It's like the same old song. Like, come on, bro.
I understand that. And I think Isaiah doesn't get enough credit because a lot of people don't like the Pistons. They hate him. They don't
I
want. They
know
want to
they
wipe
hate
him
us.
from existence.
They hate us. They hate us, Detroiters. They hate Detroit. They hate
I mean,
everything
I can
about it.
understand why. Like, because those guys. I mean, if it wasn't for those rules, Jordan would have smashed them. Like, if
Jordan
they
will
couldn't
crush
throw Jordan down like they did, bro, dude would be running a train over him with the way he moved, just the way he played. It took Bill Laimbeer freaking knocking out a player. Like, if he did that now, bro
Yeah,
would be suspended half the season
half of the
for the rest of
season.
the playoffs. Like, bro would have been getting punished. Because if
That's
you
what
look,
made the Pistons. That's what made the Pistons so smart, though, because they took advantage of the rules. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? They took advantage of the
And
shit.
I have massive respect. Like, those players, like, if you look at most of those players, they weren't.
Did they really took out advantage of the rules? I just think they just played dirty, just like
I mean, there was no
Nah,
flavor. They're the
the
reason why
Boston
flagrant
Celtics was
fouls
playing
were
more dirty than they
instituted.
was. The
If it
Celtics
was,
was a more dirty
I
team
mean,
than they was.
okay, I have a question. If it wasn't for the Pistons, do you think flagrant fouls would have come about?
no.
Yeah,
Like,
I
literally,
think
because no,
so.
I don't think a team, other than I'll have to say, like, a team would have came up and probably forced it, like, because of the mouse in the palace. But
Shit,
Oh
the New York
yeah.
Knicks. The New York Knicks was shit. Even
but the
after
New
that
York Knicks was
flagrant,
a great defensive team on top. They weren't dirty Moors. They're just raw defensively, just one of the best teams of that era.
they was dirty too,
Derek
bro.
Harper, with his freaking hand checking. Good lord.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro was like a master at that. He's one of the ones that made them change that rule.
I thought they should have kept Mark Jackson. They would have won a championship in '94 if they would have kept Mark Jackson, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, handshake is not as lethal as illegal defense, though.
Derek Harper
Illegal
wasn't he wasn't the right fit for them, man. They should have kept Mark Jackson, bro. That's just my opinion.
And it just really comes down to John Starks choking. That's all it comes down to. Patrick Ewing's career got ruined by John Starks. And it just,
Hey, Lou, how you feel about what do you feel about John Starks, Lou? I want to hear it from you, bro, because I know that's your team, the Knicks.
Listen, although John Starks Hart competed, but I just felt like you know what's so crazy? I disagree on what you were saying. His best chance was in '99. Actually, no, his best chance was in the '93-'94 time. You know why I say that?
Yep.
Why?
Because y'all see Latrell Sprewell and how he performed in those '99 finals. The Knicks actually had a chance to draft him in '92, '93. He was the player that Patrick Ewing needed to get over the top. If we had him at that time, and this was kind of entering into his prime, because the thing is, you would have had that wing defender that you could have put up against MJ at the very least.
You're right. Yeah, you make sense.
And I'm not saying like to stop him, but at least to slow him down a bit, because you knew MJ was going to have to guard Sprewell on that other end of the court. And as erratic as Sprewell was, you get an explosive player like that, especially in the open court. That means Scottie Pippen got to deal with him too. And then John Starks could kind of really play his game, to be honest with you. And he would have came off the bench. I put Sprewell in that starting lineup. Our next team looking a little bit better. So I think in Patrick Ewing's prime, I would have taken Sprewell back then. Because the thing is, Sprewell was playing great for us in those finals too. And he did play a lot of minutes, but Patrick was 37 years old at that point, 36, 37 years old. So I just, because the thing is, you can match him up easy with David Robinson, because David Robinson was also kind of on the decline himself with his injuries. But then it's like putting Marcus Camby against Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan gonna eat him up for lunch. As good of a defensive player as Marcus Camby is. So the time was 90, 93, 94. If we had Sprewell at that time, the Knicks are winning the championship, because that was the play they were missing.
Hey, Sprewell was a problem, man. A lot of people don't know about Sprewell, bro.
John Starks shot like 20% from the field, and they only lost by 6.
Yeah.
If he had shot Will, that's a chip in the bag. Like, he just choked. He pulled a James Harden.
John Starks is a streaky shooter, though, man. Yeah.
Like, he pulled a James Harden.
He always been that.
Like, just missed almost every single shot. And I mean, it's really unlucky for Patrick Ewing, because he has championship DNA. He just didn't have championship circumstances. I mean,
his guards. He didn't have a guard play. Yeah, he didn't have consistent guard play.
That's why I'm so disappointed, in him more so than Karl Malone, because, he's a team player. He made his teams better defensively and somewhat offensively than you can argue for Patrick Ewing. And You know, when you look at his team, what if he had a Penny Hardaway? You know what I'm saying? That dynamic guard that could sort of do. I mean, literally, what if, like, bro? And here's the thing. You know, I know this is a dream probably for Luis Velez. What if the Bulls didn't match that contract and he went to the Knicks and he got to play with Patrick Ewing? Oh my goodness.
Whew.
That's something crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Because at that time, you know, just Patrick Ewing at 39 led his team to the finals by himself with Latrell Sprewell and Larry Johnson. Imagine putting Jordan on that team. Like, oh my God, they are just ripping apart the Spurs.
Hell yeah.
And you gotta remember, that was only a year after MJ had beaten the Jazz. So now you're putting the best player in the league with the best. You could argue one of the best centers in the league with Latrell Sprewell, Allen Houston coming off the bench, and oh my goodness, and Marcus Camby. Like what?
Allen Houston had the prettiest jump shot I ever seen in my life, man.
You know what's a shame though? It's a shame that Allen Houston really never got to develop. I would have loved to see what him and Grant Hill could have been like in Detroit.
Oh man, don't talk about that, Lou, please, dog.
Look, y'all got the consultation prize. Y'all got Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, and Ben Wallace. I mean, Bill Wallace won the great.
I mean, with Godzilla, that was really more so like in the 2000s, but I'm talking about the 90s.
I know what Lou's talking about. I definitely know what Lou's talking about.
Like Grant Hill was amazing. Like it's just like it's sad that nobody.
He was LeBron before really LeBron.
Good he was.
Great. Grant Hill is one of my favorite players ever.
He was like LeBron before LeBron, bro. He was put up the LeBron James numbers before LeBron, bro.
He was.
That's all you can say.
MJ like, buckets.
MJ
he gave Scottie Pippen. He gave Scottie Pippen fits, man. Pippen couldn't guard him at all.
Grant Hill, he had. I think he had the DNA to be the best ever, barring injury.
Yeah.
Like Grant Hill, like it's crazy how nobody's gonna ever remember him. Like everybody's gonna remember him playing with Steve Nash.
I mean, the real basketball people will remember Grant Hill.
I'm gonna remember Grant Hill. I will always remember Grant Hill, especially with my Pistons. I know who he was.
Grant Hill is a problem.
He was.
I mean, bro, just imagine if he could have stayed healthy, bro.
He had one of the greatest first steps ever, dog. His first step was incredible.
But I mean, we can say that. We can say that for Penny. What Penny Hardaway never got injured. Dude's a problem.
One of the best point guards
ever.
What
if Derrick Rose didn't get injured? Who's basically the equivalent of Penny Hardaway? Like, bro, Derrick Rose would have changed 2000s history.
I think Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose is going to only just win one championship.
One or two. I think he went two. But think about how that changes. Think about how that changes history. Let's just say when LeBron James went back to Cleveland, you had MVP Derrick Rose. They're winning the finals. Like unless.
But you know what LeBron did. He had to trade every single player mid-season just in order for him to make his excuse.
And
look at Derrick Rose's supporting cast during his MVP season. Oh my, like Luol Deng, Joakim Noah, like
Keith
Bogans.
He had Keith Bogans. That's why he never won. He didn't have a legitimate two guard. That's why Rose never won. Yep.
And just think about it. You know, KD may instead about going to the Warriors, he may have thought of going to Chicago and playing, with Derrick Rose. You know, you just don't know his presence. His presence would change the NBA history. Still playing at that MVP level.
I had that Grant Hill tracksuit and the Feelers too, Miss Thomas. So I know about them hills. I know about them Grant Hills. Right? It was legit.
All right, guys. Before we continue more basketball, more random basketball talk, we're going to look through these other trades. I want to get these trades.
All right. Okay.
All right, so we got my New York Knicks, unfortunately. All right, so we got.
Dang.
Hey, he should go there. No lie.
They give up what? Frank Ntilikina.
Louisville is about to hit you over there. About to hit you upside the head.
We don't say that, but anyway. Look, Frank Ntilikina, Julius Randle, Wayne Ellington, Alfred Frayton. I would get rid of that just to get Russ. But the only issue is, again, we're not going to be winning with him. So it really don't do anything. We do get a star, which we haven't had in a while.
Hey, I think y'all can get the 8th seed. I think Russell Westbrook can get y'all to the 8th seed, but y'all be a first round exit.
That's what y'all should. He can build culture there. You know what I'm saying? He can get y'all
to
the
Chris
play
Paul. Wait for
They'll
me
take
to
out of the
fall.
playoffs. Yeah.
If you need
that's what I'm
somebody to
saying.
build culture, you don't need to get Russell Westbrook.
No,
What
listen to what I'm
culture
about to
has he
say.
built?
Wait, hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. You guys haven't been to the playoffs in a while. He can just be that building block to success. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Give him reputation.
no.
No, I'm being serious.
Get
Like
Chris Paul. He builds real
hey,
culture.
he's
Russell
infamous for
Westbrook destroys
taking.
culture.
Man, Chris Paul ain't gonna go to the Knicks.
He's
He don't
infamous
want
for taking these trash teams to
Put
the playoffs.
Westbrook. You put
That's
Westbrook to
similar,
the Knicks, they going
that's
to the
similar to
playoffs,
like
man. They'll be the AFC.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not
The
they
Knicks,
for
saying.
the
I'm just
AFC.
saying
the
from a
Knicks
building
is the
culture
perfect place
perspective, bro.
for
From a
Westbrook.
building culture perspective, Russell Westbrook disrupts cultures. And
What culture do the Knicks already have?
What
They don't have a
culture, man?
culture. They
yeah,
don't have
and I
one.
get it, but would
That's
you
what I'm
rather
saying.
have him or would you rather have Chris Paul building championship culture?
Chris Paul not gonna want to go there.
Chris Paul ain't going there.
Chris Paul
Stop
I'm
with
just
that
saying,
right
who would
now.
you rather have, Westbrook
We
or Chris
all
Paul?
know the question,
I
but the
need
thing
to
is,
ask.
Chris Paul's not going there.
During
So
like the early
take a
2010s,
consolation prize.
man.
That question is irrelevant.
Take your consolation prize and get rest to the Knicks.
Yep. And he'll fill up the stands. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Is Russ gonna drop a triple double this game?
Just burn
Let's
the
see.
stadium.
I think you should go to the Knicks. Not gonna lie.
Where's OT in them?
The Knicks, the Hornets, that ilk of teams is perfect for Westbrook. That's what he wants, anyways.
Bro, I just want to see when the trade happens. I want to see Stephen A's face. He's going to literally cry live on air.
Man,
see this hairline all the way back.
I would like to see him. I would like to see personally. I like to see Westbrook in Detroit. I want him as a Piston. I want him on my team.
Him and
I want to
see what I have to give up Blake. You have
I
to give
wanted
up
to
Blake.
be Charlotte's greatest player ever.
We can
He's
give
the
up
GOAT of
Blake.
Charlotte.
Hey, I think Blake would be good for the Rockets. Not gonna lie.
Of course. I think it would be great for the Rockets.
Hold on. You think Russ? You said Russ can be the greatest player in Charlotte history? Damn, that means
God damn.
You ain't gonna disrespect Del Curry and Muggsy Bogues like that, are you? Nah.
Yeah.
Larry Johnson, Larry Johnson. Yeah.
I mean, no, but see, like which history? Because I forget which history goes to what because of the whole confusion with the Charlotte Hornets and the Pelicans. Like,
So
which history is that part of?
No, the Pelicans are
the Hornets or the Bobcats.
The Hornets are the Bobcats, and the
Hornets are the Bobcats. Pelicans and the
Pelicans are the Hornets.
You're talking about like the New Orleans Hornets, and then they transcend themselves into.
But
like,
that would be a part of the Pelicans line, not the Hornets line.
Yeah, so he will be the best Bobcats player in history.
Wow.
It shows how piss poor that. I mean,
that's not saying much.
The second in line is Kemba Walker. Once Westbrook touches down in Charlotte, he's going to be the greatest player that ever. He's going to be the GOAT of Charlotte.
God damn.
Hold on. This is why I love Juanetta Thomas and I love Ron. Juanetta says it right here. If Russ goes to the Knicks, they need to burn the whole damn stadium, and that's a damn.
That's a Knicks type of trade. Not gonna lie, to get Russ there. That's a typical
Knicks. That's a typical. You know what I mean? All they do is just rant about Russell. And
the New York Knicks are the most dysfunctional organizations in the history of basketball.
Look, bro, the best situation for the Knicks right now.
No, I had to give that to the Clippers.
Maybe in sports too. Yeah,
I had to give
the New York Knicks are the Detroit Lions of the NBA.
Now the Clippers are just the most unluckiest team in sports.
Like, bro. Let me tell you something. Larry Johnson, greatest Hornet. I mean, Russell touches down. He's gonna be the greatest Hornet of all time. He's gonna be in the GOAT conversation before he even.
Man, we all know Westbrook don't want no championship. Westbrook is not trying to play for no championship. If he got to be the third fiddle, because that's what he's gonna be if he goes to these championship teams, the third best player.
I think Russell Westbrook, when he gets older, he's gonna be a better role player than he ever was a superstar. To me,
yeah,
I agree with that.
And that's pitiful to say.
I mean, if he can learn how to shoot, he'd be perfect role player.
Look at Jason Kidd. He learned how to shoot later on in his career, so it could be possible for Westbrook.
Westbrook just got to stop being stubborn and go ahead and get over his pride.
Because Jason Kidd was a horrible shooter until later in his career. That's when he started hitting the threes and all that.
I mean, that's all he. Do we have to remember in Dallas where he didn't score any points in the Miami Heat series? Like, bro was a good shooter, but I wouldn't say like he was amazing. I think Jason
of course
Terry
not.
No, we're not saying that. Yeah,
We just saying he's not shooting 29% from the 3-point line. No more.
I mean, but that's
we
what
gonna
you
say that.
expect out of an NBA player. You don't expect him to shoot under 29% and still have a job.
Of course, if you don't work in your jump shot, well, you're gonna shoot 29%. If you shoot,
and the scary part is if Russell gets older, his athleticism starts to leave. Is he going to be able to get a jump shot? Because we haven't seen. He's been trying hard.
Shooting, man. There's like enough with the threes, enough with the crazy.
He needs to shoot him in rhythm. Like that's his problem. Shoot him in rhythm.
The problem
we've already seen him and George Paul just get dominated by Donovan Mitchell. Like,
you know what the problem with Russell Westbrook? He got to work on his form for the three. He has no rotation on the ball. When he shoot the three, it's like a straight. It's just like a straight line. He has no rotation on the ball.
mm-hmm.
His form is weird.
His form is crazy, man. He got to change
so
that.
high too. He jumps really high on the jump shots too.
Yeah,
guys, and Russell Westbrook's head higher equals going in the basket. You can see the more he thinks going to go in the basket, it's going in. Oh, bump up the rim.
Do the Pistons have a trade offer for him?
I think they do. I got to see what it is. Let me see. Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the Clippers and he could be the second option, and they can't. And they
no.
Negative. No. He would have to be.
I think
third option, fourth option.
Hey, I'm from LA, so he's gonna be like, hey, I'm from LA, so I should be the first option. You know what I'm saying?
Now over Kawhi, hell no.
Bro, of course I would rather take Paul George bricking every playoff run than have Westbrook. That's a net negative.
The Clippers would make him better.
Paul George
would make him better.
Hey,
what?
Yeah, I know. I'm a Laker fan. I say it. I think that the Clippers might have a good change with Russell.
No. I know. I'm gonna say this because Paul George is your modern day Scottie Pippen. Negative.
Paul George, modern day Scottie Pippen.
Man, that's a disrespect to Pippen. What? Let's hold up there. Pippen knew when not to shoot a brick off the side of the rim.
Like that, so let's pump up the brakes. But
first of all, that's a tough mess in itself because first of all, you got Ty Lue as your head coach, number one, and two, Paul George just got away from Russell Westbrook, and now he's gonna come back to him after just being I don't see that.
That's not gonna happen.
No way.
And how much success did Paul George and Russell Westbrook have together? They got beat up by a rookie and they got waved away by Dame Dollar.
Yeah,
Logo Lillard. They got Logo Lillard. That's what they got.
And they had Jeremy Grant, Steven Adams. They should not have gotten out in 5 games. Now, of course, a lot of those players in that series, other than Russell and Paul George, played very bad.
Paul George was a disappointment, man. I was very disappointed in Paul George in that series, man.
According to him, man, his shoulder was just bothering him so much.
I don't hear that shit. Everybody's hurt in the playoffs, man.
That's according to him. His shoulder was just it was killing him.
Playoff P, more like way off P.
Oh, that's what I call him. He's way off.
Boy George. He is Boy George. Yep. But go ahead, Lou.
You know what's crazy thing is somebody that had a pulled calf came back and played better than someone that had a messed up shoulder. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Here's another problem I got with Paul George. Paul George
mentally weak.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's on social media too much. Worries about everybody else, his damn self. He has the handle to get to the basket, and he keeps taking step back threes. That's just somebody that to me that's lacking IQ. Like, I get it, man. You had a horrific leg injury, but it's like, yo, your game has evolved over time.
I'm gonna tell you this. Go ahead, Lou. My bad, Lou. Go ahead.
Oh, no, real quick. I'm just gonna say that, like, Paul George worries. He stays on social media too much. He needs to cut that off. Like, if he's really gonna focus and like be that number 2 option that I think he possibly would be. If not, he stays at number 3. Listen, Paul George, as long as he continues to play like that, the Clippers are going absolutely nowhere. And to think, at one time this dude was supposed to be a Los Angeles Laker, but it's fitting that he's with the Clippers because trust me, he would be getting blamed in LA if he didn't play well. At least he's on a bad team in the Clippers right now.
He'd be getting killed if LeBron don't win a championship. Oh boy. Hey, you see Danny Green, right? You see Danny Green? Don't let that be Paul George. Don't let that be
Paul
George.
See, here's the thing that disappoints me about Paul George. He took Miami to Game 7 being the number 1 option. and then he turns around. The dude is so like it's not even. He doesn't even have to play great. He has the Clippers are the second best team in the West when they play consistent. He can't even put up numbers that he would usually put up in the season.
I just didn't take
He
him
doesn't even
serious.
need to get back. He needs to stabilize his numbers. If he could stabilize his numbers with a stable percentage, the Los Angeles Clippers get to the conference finals easily. The games that he's played good, they dominate.
I feel like
he has a great talent.
Just regular season hype, playoffs.
Paul George has great talent, man.
That's not an excuse, Omar, though. That's not an excuse.
I remember in 2016 playoffs against Toronto Raptors, man. He took them 7 games. He ain't had nobody on that roster, man. Paul George almost won that series by himself, man. So Paul George has potential. He can do it. He just mentally weak. That's it. That's the only problem with him, man. He just weak mentally. That's it, man.
And it's a bit funny. Ever since that Roy Hibbert incident, he's been mentally weak since then.
Yeah.
I think something happened there, and especially with the Seth Curry thing. I think it's his personal troubles now getting in the way of his play, because it really doesn't make any sense that this dude who was a number 1 option almost beat the Miami Heat with no top 5 star on his team, then turns around and botches a run against the Nuggets where he was up 3-1. They didn't even play good. This dude didn't play good in the series, and they were up 3-1 in the Dallas series. The game that he played good in, they blew him out by 4.
Another thing is him being in and out the lineup does not help your team chemistry at all either. Like, you need to consistently be in, or you're gonna be out.
Yeah,
you gotta play through injury, man.
Yeah, he always like he sits out too many games. Him and Kawhi Leonard, man, that's the problem with that Clipper team, man. They gotta grab their balls, man, and man the fuck up. Shit.
I think that's the number 1 problem. They didn't play together enough.
But I mean, you had them up 3-1. Come on.
No. Here's the thing: the Clippers thought that they could come in, they could use their talent with all the pieces that they had. Remember, because listen, like Winetta said, PG-13 sold us a lot.
Sold us some goods.
Flip it over. And PG's won 3-1, 31, as in blew a 3-1 lead, him and Kawhi Leonard. And there's no excuses because Doc Rivers did a poor job of managing this team. I told y'all, the personalities they got on this team. Patrick Beverley gets distracted by social media, running around doing nothing. Montrezl Harrell.
Trash.
Listen, peace and love to his grandmother, but look, he could easily get distracted. Clutch agent. Lemon Pepper Lou.
Lemon Pepper.
Listen, Lemon Pepper ain't worth no championship, man.
Magic City Lou Wings Lou, man. Like,
bro, he had me so angry. Look at him.
Oh man.
And so then you got him. And first of all, Doc Rivers didn't hold his team accountable for nothing. And then on top of that, Doc Rivers doesn't really play a system. And I told you, the way that Doc Rivers is this quote unquote great coach is if you have a defensive guru on the bench and you have a leader that talks on the floor, because Doc Rivers ain't gonna do that. I told you, when you blow 3-3-2 leads and 3-3-1 leads, and you've won 1 championship in 20 years, you're overrated, in my opinion.
Hey, you know what's crazy, Lou? Chris Paul was both of those things. When he had him, a defensive guru and a floor general.
You can't play with the talent that Doc Rivers has had, and you only win 1 championship in 20 seasons. And the thing is, I was trying to give Doc a chance because I thought he had a team that not could compete. Because remember, he did such a great job with no stars the year prior and took the Warriors to 6 games. And I'm saying it again, the Warriors toyed around with the Clippers because they really should have beat them in 5. And probably you could even say a 4-game sweep, but they toyed around with them. And they blew 2 30-point leads in the series. Like, come on, you blew 2 30-point leads to that Clippers team. I don't care what anybody. They should have took care of that team. Then you get Kawhi and Paul George, and you give up what you give up, and you have a 3-1 lead. Just without, and this is why they kind of remind me of OKC, because they're playing using talent. They don't play a system. Then they start to get lazy and they play like they didn't even want to be there. And guess what? They lose. So there's no excuses for the Clippers. They need a system. They don't have one.
Yeah, I had to say the contributing factors to the Clippers losing is them not being able to stay healthy on the court with each other. I mean, with all these problems considered, they were still clearly the second best team in the West. And you could argue the second best team in basketball under the Lakers. It's just that they had so many issues, and they still off of talent put the Nuggets down 3-1, all just on talent with no system.
So wait, we saying Westbrook's the missing piece to this championship or what?
Shut up, no. No, don't put Westbrook. Westbrook is exactly he's the anti-person of what they need. They need Chris Paul. If they get Chris Paul, a floor general, like a real floor general,
Chris Paul,
bro, like they could beat the Lakers. Because Chris Paul's going to force everybody to play a type of system, especially, Steve Ballmer ain't playing no mess, bro. He got Doc Rivers up out of there. He's like, get your butt up out of here. You're fired.
And it was the right move. I don't care what anybody says. It was a damn right move.
I think it wasn't necessarily this series. I think it was just the accumulation of everything that happened with the Clippers.
That was a great move. He had to go, man. He's trash.
I'm sorry. People say, "Oh, it's not his fault, bro." Yes, it is. If you're not playing an offense, it's like a trickle-down effect. Okay, it starts with the offense. Then the players not being on the court consistently.
Most overrated coach in professional sports history, man. That Rivers.
And it starts with the system. They were not playing a system. Kawhi's not going to tell anybody off. He's going to do his thing. And for the most part, he did do his thing. And then you got Paul George. He needs kind of a system to try and get him going. He's taking low IQ shots, which somebody should have yelled at him in the locker room. Stop taking brick jumpers. Get in the paint, you lazy piece of crap. It's like, okay, and it's not like the rest of the players play bad. Marcus Morris played good. And he did try to injure Luka, but these guys, the person I blame the most is Paul George, Lou Williams, and Doc Rivers. They're the reason why they
Kawhi Leonard. I blame Kawhi Leonard too.
Yeah. Come on, you can't blame him for everything. Players are gonna have.
And he's on a team, right?
He was on.
Kawhi,
I blame him, but I don't blame him.
Kawhi's not a leader, though. We know he's not a leader. We already know he's not a leader. We know this already. So he's pretty much out of the equation.
I mean,
but I'm gonna blame Doc Rivers.
Raptors for their first championship. And yes, we can say Kyle Lowry did this and this and that, but let's not forget Kyle Lowry's disappearances for the year before. Y'all wasn't saying he was a leader when he was getting stopped by LeBron James in the second round. Come on,
Hold on. I gotta stop you right there, guys.
Yeah, stop him.
Here's the issue with that. The issue with that is, Kyle. The difference is you got to understand something. There's a difference between DeMar DeRozan and there's a difference between Kawhi Leonard. What's the difference? DeMar DeRozan is a guy who folds under pressure in the playoffs. And when you're facing a team like LeBron, and I got on DeRozan for this, I said, the problem with DeRozan is that, again, he's not your best player on a championship team. He's just not. He's at best.
He's your third best option. Yep.
Third to fourth best option. He's not even a number two. DeRozan's not even a number two. Kawhi Leonard, that's a different story. Now, is he a leader? No. But he's your number one option on a championship team. He's your number one option, and he proved it in the playoffs. That's why
he's better than Scottie Pippen. But go ahead.
Damn, why is that even a question? That's a question? Somebody asked that question?
I'm sorry, Lou, man. I ain't mean to interrupt. Man, go ahead.
Wait. You think Kawhi better?
Yes, he's better than Pippen, but go ahead, man. He's better than Pippen.
It's not even close. It's
not close, bro. It's not close, man.
The only thing,
two-time NBA Finals MVP. Enough said.
Well, I say his first Finals MVP is in the same bracket as Andre Iguodala's Finals MVP.
I agree. No, I would agree with that.
I disagree. I disagree.
He only got the Finals MVP for guarding LeBron. That's why Andre Iguodala got his Finals MVP. So we got to hold that to the same standard.
Listen, Kawhi's 2019 Finals to me more solidifies it because he was the number one guy on the team. I agree with that one. I think more so his first Finals one. His numbers got better in the last 3 games, but I think he only averaged 15 and 16. So yeah, I agree with Weiss. Those numbers were more.
Yeah, he did average 15 points per game in that series. You're right. Yeah.
I would say Kawhi Leonard. If it was up to Pippen in the first round, he probably would have quit on his team. I
say Kawhi Leonard
always been a quitter.
I say Kawhi Leonard is better because number one, he's playing defense in a tougher era, and he's one of the best defensive players in this era. But his offense the dude
more
is
consistent than Pippen's offense.
Of course, it's way more consistent than Pippen's offense.
Kawhi Leonard if it wasn't for Kawhi Leonard's run last year, bro, Philly could have a chip right now. which changes that whole history of that
Man,
franchise.
Kawhi Leonard had one of the most memorable playoff performers ever. We never heard about that for Scottie Pippen. Fuck out of here.
Man, come on, man. We already get it here.
And Scottie Pippen at his best was a second round exit, bro. Come on now.
Oh man,
at his best, got outmatched by Patrick Ewing, mano a mano. That's all I'm gonna say.
22 points per game on 39% shooting from the field. Hell out of here, man. Nobody's worried about no Scottie Pippen.
Not only Scottie Pippen's biggest attribute
on his team. And he quit it on his team.
Attribute, Kawhi Leonard's better at him than.
Yeah.
Defense. He's a better defensive player.
Defensive player of the year. Pippen never won that award ever.
He won it twice. Dude won it twice. Not only that, he's a way better offensive player. Dude halfway sometimes looks unstoppable with the strength he has in that paint.
Right.
And guess what? You could talk about his breakdown in the Nuggets series, but if Scottie Pippen was there, the Nuggets would never went down in that series. Just gonna put it like that.
If Pippen was there, the fucking Clippers would have got swept.
Y'all, the Scottie Pippen slander is real tonight. Y'all are ruthless.
He's overrated as fuck, man.
I get this, man.
Bro. Scottie Pippen at his peak, bro. I'm judging him at his peak. We're not gonna judge 1992, 1991. We didn't make the All-Star team. 1996, when his team.
How can he be a top 25 player ever when he only had one great season in his career? His whole career, 16 years, you only had one great season, and you a top 25 player of all time? Fuck out of here.
Listen,
he's not a top 25 player anymore.
No. Scottie Pippen is in the 30 to 40 range. I'm sorry, but not top 25.
Top 25, even when he was winning championships,
I would put Carmelo over 25.
I cannot put him in the top 25. I'm sorry. Scottie Pippen is 30 to 40, top 25. No, that's going to
hell no.
I don't even know if he's 30 to 40 anymore.
He's not even 30 to 40.
Okay,
bro.
guys. All right. That's enough. That's enough. Hey, Scottie Pippen is top 10 of his era. Come on, let's.
Bro.
He's in the 60 range. Bro.
The reason why. Hold on. Can we pump the brakes?
Pump the brakes. Leave it alone. All right, next one. All right, next trade. All right, y'all think the Lakers should give up Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Quinn Cook, and Alex Caruso?
God damn!
No, what?
No.
Not
next scenario. Let's just read the next scenario. The next one.
Caruso is the GOAT. You throw him in the trade package.
All right, man.
For who? I didn't hear for who.
For Westbrook.
Oh man, get out of here with that. Bro, I'd rather have Kyle Kuzma than
the only reason they're trying to shop all these because they're trying to think of this whole dynamic trio with Russ, LeBron, and AD. The only
Russ is not a third fiddle. He does not want to be that.
Runs and 180, man.
That's Westbrook and LeBron James gonna be eating at each other the whole.
That's
season.
too much role playing. At least these players know their role. They know their role. Westbrook does not. That's the difference.
Listen, man. Look, man.
But if the Lakers did that, man, I'll be pissed.
I understand it. Look, they want to do a big three, but the thing is, there's a lot of complications with that. With him having it. I'm sorry. I know
they're trying to make that big three for LeBron. Just in order to get
LeBron probably don't even want Westbrook. I'm sorry.
Superstar. LeBron James.
He didn't even look his direction.
Hey, LeBron James, only superstar in NBA history that asked for more help than any other superstar in the history of the sport, man. And that's not even a debate.
Dude literally openly said, "I'm willing to play with any great player."
All right, next trade. We got the Dallas Mavericks because we already talked about the Clippers, and that's a no. We got Hardaway Jr., DeLon Wright, Jalen Brunson, and Dwight Powell.
Nope.
Nah. Shooters for Westbrook? No.
No.
And this is why it hurts. Like with some of these top West teams, it doesn't look good because
I just told you in today's NBA he doesn't fit, man.
Here's the last team, the Phoenix Suns, Ricky Rubio and Kelly. I'm not trying to give up Kelly.
Oh no way! No, that's a no already.
That's a no.
That's a no already.
No go. Devin Booker plus. I'd rather trade for Chris Paul.
I already told you the teams he needs to go to: Charlotte or the Detroit Pistons,
Charlotte, bro,
or the Knicks,
or
the New York Knicks,
or Terry Rozier. Trade for Terry Rozier. He's Charlotte bound, people.
Oh my God.
So basically,
what about the
it's only
Bucks?
really. What?
What about the Bucks?
Well, we said the Bucks already, and I said that. I mean,
that wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work though because the issue with the Bucks, they're gonna need shooting, and the thing is,
they would triple team Giannis. They would triple team him on purpose just so Westbrook can get open shots and he'll brick them all.
And then and the thing is also then when Giannis sits, then they're gonna start putting that wall with Westbrook and say beat us on the elbow, like shoot up. And that's the thing though, his elbow jumper for me has got to get back. And like Jay said, he just has to get rotation. I don't like his rotation on.
It's garbage, man.
Yeah. And I feel like it's part of the reason why he misses like a lot of
It's just a straight line, man. He gotta put some arch on that shot, man.
And I think, and the thing is, Russ wants his own team. So it's like, when you really think about it, it's like the only thing I could think, and I wouldn't even, if I'm Phoenix, I wouldn't even touch it just because you're starting to you had a good season. And especially with the bubble, you got some of your players coming back healthy next year with Kelly Oubre and them. And I'm just like, I wouldn't even touch that because they're starting to, you want to start to build. I would just kind of stay away from Russ right there.
Man,
the thing with Russ is he's getting paid too much to be. That's like the biggest issue.
That's another problem too. He has a big contract, man.
His contract is so
huge contract.
Maybe if his contract was a little smaller, I would be like, man, maybe that could work. But nah, no way.
Okay, what y'all think about CP3 going to the Dallas Mavericks? You think that would help Luke?
I'm on board with that.
Of course.
I love it. Hell yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's good.
Chris Paul combined with those guys that can all shoot threes, they're just gonna be the better version of what the Rockets are. And they have center protection. They got sizable centers that can shoot threes, except Boban.
The only issue with me would be Porzingis. Can he stay healthy? That's the only question I have with that situation.
Well,
if he stays.
You could also say Luka Doncic too. Didn't mean to cut you off because Luka's had injuries early. So, Porzingis is the one to most worry about because he misses more time than Luka does. Luka play through injuries, unlike.
That's a problem for CP3 as well. Like, I mean,
will you manage his minutes though? That's the question because his age. Will you put him on minutes restriction? That's something you got to think about.
No, because he kind of has to. He kind of has to rebuild the culture for that team. Like
I don't know. I think they already have good culture. They have Rick Carlisle.
The culture is there. Yeah.
No. When I mean culture, I just mean him mixing in with them. He has to get used to the way they play, and we don't want a Clippers situation where in the playoffs, this team kind of like they're not clicking.
I mean, look what he did with OKC. I think he'll be fine on that on terms. So I mean,
but you just want him out there playing, getting used to the team. To team structure where everybody needs to be and whatnot. Chris Paul could go out there. If Luka could go out there, freaking make the Clippers struggle with freaking Seth Curry as his second option, this man can do anything.
Hey, I think the Mavs need some defenders though. I think they need.
No. First of all, the Mavs actually have depth. They just had a lot of injuries, but they're not a defensive team, and they got to get better at that. But here's the issue with CP3. The only way I see CP3 working out with this. If y'all saw what happened, CP3 with the amount of rest he got with COVID-19, we saw a Chris Paul that we hadn't seen probably in like 2 or 3 seasons. So he would have to get that kind of rest, and somehow I don't know if Rick Carlisle can manage his minutes somehow.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Because the thing is, I don't know if you're going to get another type of performance like that from CP3. Because like we said, he's got to stay healthy. But then it's like if he stays healthy, we got to make sure that CP3 is fresh for the playoffs where he doesn't wear down. And so
I feel like another thing with that was I feel like CP3 a health factor for him is if he's motivated, of course he's going to want to be in tip-top shape. And this year he was motivated.
You don't want CP3 playing 40 minutes a night though either.
But you don't need him to do that because you got Luka there already.
You could literally play Jalen Brunson.
Like
Jalen Brunson is
and also
cool with that.
Yeah, no, and this way, the thing is, because in my opinion, when I look at the Mavericks style of play, they're kind of playing the Luka Doncic system, and that's not going to be conducive to winning, especially in the playoffs. Fortunately, because honestly, if the Clippers took the Mavs more seriously and would stop with that lazy BS, and
they was swept out.
playing better, the Clippers would have knocked them off early. It's just because the Clippers are a better team. It's just the problem is they just weren't ready to play, and they kind of underestimated the Mavericks. And you put Porzingis in there. I'm not saying like totally, but it is possible because that would have been an extra body out there. Despite that, Porzingis was not really playing like that well. But and the thing is, Luka went off in that series, so the fact that
Luka was nasty.
Plus, with Chris Paul, you can do that pick and roll with him and Porzingis. Oh, that's nasty.
With Luka off
the
ball,
pick and roll and the pick and pop, that is nasty.
Guys, the reason why Luka is so inefficient to a certain degree is that 90% of the time he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
you know how few possessions? Do you know how few possessions he has times to rest? Could you imagine? We saw what Rondo did for LeBron James. Imagine what Chris Paul could do for Luka. Oh my goodness. The amount of dynamics they could do to their offense.
He could take away the ball handling duties, and plus that, and then Luka can work on his defense more.
But bro, just think about
it. And like I said before, I think that again, the key thing is going to be with a move like that with CP3 is going to be the health. So that's the risk that you're taking with CP3 at his age because he is 35. But if they saw how can manage his minutes, if he can stay healthy. And if Luka Doncic doesn't wear down like by the end of the season, and he doesn't have to play, he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands a lot. And like Jay said, because he's not going to be the best defender, because we already know laterally he's got some issues. But at the very least, he could kind of use his body. Because I think Luka's got a good sturdy body, like at his height.
They got a good size, yeah.
So if he could use that, and the wild card is Porzingis. If he can stay healthy somehow, some way, with the depth that the Mavericks have. I honestly think the Mavs could make some noise. I'm not saying championship, but I definitely think that they could make some noise.
They can at least get to the West Conference Finals. They can at least get there.
You know your team is good when you could put Chris Paul and Trey Burke out there and still make it work. When Trey Burke can be in your lineup and freaking be balling because your player draws so much attention. Like, guys, we got to think about it. If the right scenario lines up, Chris Paul plays well. Off ball, making it more dynamic for Luka to play more efficiently and get more quality shots.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, Porzingis, we're talking about Porzingis as he currently is. If he returns to what he was in New York, the Mavs are winning the title. I'm sorry. Like if he returns to what he was,
that's a stretch. Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, we're talking about just their championship bound. If he stays the way he is, but if he returns to what he was, bro's going to be a problem.
He got to get more rebounds, too, than 6-7 boards a game, man. You 7-3.
Porzingis cannot be averaging those 7 rebounds. He's got to be in the 10 range.
He got to get at least 12, 13 boards, bro. Yeah.
The only reason I say that because the thing is back then, championship teams were always very good rebounding teams. It's just in this era, because we emphasize the 3-ball so much, rebounding isn't really going to be as important. And those inflated rebounds, in terms of like with long shots, because of the
but in the playoffs, teams is gonna play you more tighter. So those shots ain't gonna always be there. Yeah,
no, that's true. Because
that's why playoff basketball really shows how good these players are, because it returns to the original style that basketball is supposed to be played in. Because you think about it. Think of a time in basketball where it's so much more different in the playoffs than it is in the season. The divide between the two is very wide. We see all these great 3-point shooting teams in the playoffs start clunking. Houston, choke. I mean, efficiency. I mean, and players will talk about, they couldn't shoot back then, but they were very efficient. They took shots that they knew they could make.
Right.
You know? And
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Like, they talk about, players couldn't play today because they didn't have long range. Well, players now can't play back then because they can't play with efficiency from the shots they're taking.
They don't have fundamentals, man. They're not fundamentally sound. These players are today. Yeah.
I heard somebody say that Clyde Drexler couldn't play in today's era.
What?
That's what you hear. I mean, people don't know the history and they would flunk it. And they were getting pissed.
Man, they fucking bugging, man.
Talking about David Thompson off the bitch. Off the bitch, guys. Dude could literally fly higher than almost any guard.
But you know what? I believe that. I believe that comment. I heard people say Larry Bird couldn't play in this era. I heard that too.
And then while literally at the same time we had
Curry better.
Like literally it took LeBron James kind of say Larry Bird can dominate any era. When freaking LeBron James got,
I feel like the top 25 players can dominate in any area. If you're a top 25 player, it means you can play in any era.
I don't think LeBron's going to dominate.
You can make a stretch.
You don't think LeBron? I think the 90s would be better for LeBron.
If you switched it, LeBron.
I think the 90s would be better.
In the 90s, I think that Jordan would be better today. I think if you flip them,
I think Jordan can average like 45 points per game today. Yeah.
LeBron James, because I think with the legal defense, LeBron James will be getting constant one-on-one matchups. Now, are these guys bigger? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it would still be great for his kick-out game because they would be forced to fully commit.
I'll tell you what, man. Jordan would be untouchable in today's NBA. That dude would average 45 a night, man.
He would be averaging, to me, I think he would average a cool 35 on 55-60% shooting.
Yeah.
And play great defense. His game would be way more well-rounded. I think he would average like 6 or 7 assists a game and 7 rebounds. Yeah. I think he would be Russell Westbrook without all the negatives.
That's crazy. All right, man. So I was literally about to stop the show. But looks like Omar came in real late, but I'm gonna let him in. I gotta say a few things real quick. Yo, shout out to you, Omar, man. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? I don't know if you can see me because I can't see me, but these topics, I can't lie, y'all.
All right, man. So I was literally about to stop the background. Because the background looks like Omar came in real late, but I'm gonna let him in. I gotta say a few things real quick.
Yeah, I'm late, man. But Scottie Pippen is not top 50. He's not top 50.
Thank you.
Hey, you gotta pause your stream, Omar. You gotta pause your stream.
You gotta pause the stream because I hit the ball.
I can't lie. You said I gotta pause it.
You have it on YouTube.
Omar came in real late,
but
you good now?
All right, good now.
My bad. My bad, gang.
Yeah,
man. Scottie Pippen not top 5. That was the question. But Westbrook, bro. Westbrook is valuable. He's a second, third option, definitely on a championship team.
I would say third option. Second option, no.
He's not a second option.
Not on a championship team. He's not a second option. Third option, yes.
So when Kevin Durant, hold on, wait. When OKC was about to beat Golden State 3-1, and he was the second option. That's a championship team. They beating the Cavs that year.
Hold on, Omar. Here's the reason why. And this is
I don't know about it.
I've been saying this constantly. Here's the thing. Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant were playing street ball. That series against Golden State. The thing was their defense was great, their rebounding was great, and they did use their talent. The problem is 7-game series. In a 7-game series, you can't play that same predictable style and not expect Golden State to make adjustments. They didn't adjust to what Golden State did. And if you look at those 3 games, Westbrook and Durant were turning the ball over like crazy.
Hey, Billy Donovan got exposed, bro.
Yeah. And Billy Donovan made no adjustments as a coach. And my thing is, and the thing is also is that, like could they run it back? They could have, but the thing is, I felt like, first of all, they needed somebody that was going to get in on Russ and KD's ear, especially on Russ, because Russ is never really, first of all, Russ is entering year 13. Hold on, real quick. Russ is entering year 13. Year 13. Played 12 years in the league. So you from all those experiences that you've had, I would have thought by now Russ would have really finally learned. Because the thing is, look, Russ can get assists. But just about any player, if any player can really focus on getting assists, if their mindset was, I'm going to lead the league in assists, they can do it if they set their mind to it, man, because that's something. Is it easy to do? Obviously not if teams are reading, but the problem is with Westbrook is he's not adjusted his game, and I really haven't seen an evolution in his game. Has he gotten better over time? He has. And I said before, Russ is a dynamic player, dynamic talent. So I never question his talent, bro. The thing is that Russ thinks he's number one, and he's not number one.
You gotta have that attitude, though. You gotta have that attitude. But going back to that series, y'all don't feel like the bottom fell out. Y'all don't feel like the Deion Waiters of the world, the Serge Ibaka's of the world.
They have a third option.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't be one of the deepest.
They didn't have a true 3
history.
Wait, who was the true 3 for Golden State? Draymond Green?
Dude, Draymond is the leader of the team.
Yeah, he's the heart and soul of the Golden State Warriors, bro.
The team, but Serge Ibaka, you can say Serge Ibaka serves that same role.
But Ibaka didn't do shit.
Ibaka didn't do. He didn't do squat in that series. He didn't really.
He didn't do shit in that series, man.
But I would put, as far as vocal leaders, I would have put Perkins over Ibaka on that team.
They signed Deion Waiters to score the basketball. He was shitty in that motherfucking series.
Lord.
Omar,
so that's a tragedy right there.
Where's the best place that Westbrook should go then, since he's a second or third option? Or second option?
I think the Clippers should, make it.
He could go to Dallas. And they could win.
Oh no,
he doesn't fit in that.
No way.
Why Dallas though? Why Dallas? I'm trying to figure out.
We talking about ball movement. We talking about a team that has no post scoring. Zero.
Ball movement.
Besides Porzingis, he plays outside the paint most of the time. Most of the game though, they don't have post scoring. That's what Westbrook brings. That's why the Rockets relinquished a center. Not even for defensive purposes. It was all offensive. It was terrible. But he's going to provide that paint scoring like a Shaq.
But the thing is, up until last year, though, Russ was never really playing in the post. If you look at the way Russell plays, Russ loves to drive the basketball, especially in transition. And in the half court, his thing is really more so, again, elbow, pull-up, jump shot, especially like in transition. He didn't really start posting up until last year because, remember, last year he was taking a lot of threes. And it wasn't until he changed his game and realized that I need to be more in the paint for us to be effective. When they went to Russ's style of play and he changed and went into the post, he started to be more efficient. And the Rockets kind of really took off like when they did that. Now, you could say the only issue, the thing is, though, from a coach, well, as Godzilla's been mentioning, culture standpoint, the only issue is Russ needs structure. He needs structure. And the thing is, Rick Carlisle is about structure. I don't know if Russ could take that kind of structure. If he could take that structure and he's willing to listen to Rick Carlisle, then possibly I could see it work. But the problem is Russ can't shoot. That's number one. He's never been known as a shooter.
He had a mid-range and he lost that. But go ahead.
Yeah, he had a mid-range and he lost that. And the thing is, Porzingis is really their post player, but like you said, he doesn't really post up. So now it's like you're going to have Porzingis now at the three-point line, and then Russ is now your primary post player at the guard position. And I get it. It's today's NBA. But I want Porzingis thriving in the post much better, and I want him to really focus on rebounds because the thing is, it's going to be easy for Russ to get rebounds because Porzingis is not – if Porzingis emphasizes on rebounding the ball more, he could get 9 to 10 rebounds, but he doesn't do that. So that's going to make it easier for Westbrook to get these rebounds, and it's going to be kind of like deja vu over again. It's like Westbrook, like I said, Westbrook, in order for him to evolve, he needs somebody that's going to give him structure. He hasn't had like that out type.
Westbrook get a rap as a team killer, as a locker room killer, and that's not true.
Russ isn't. No, Russ.
I don't think he's a locker room killer at all. I just think his mentality is.
No. It's not locker room wise, I don't think so.
This is a mentality.
I mean, he don't have IQ. His IQ
was just a little bit more talented, but was the number one, but had zero heart, or not as much heart as you.
No, Russ has heart.
He has heart.
I'm talking about KD right now. I'm talking about KD right now.
Oh, okay.
Him being on the team with Kevin Durant, who's talent-wise, of course, you would say a better player, but as far as being a leader, being a team leader,
no.
He's never was a leader. Kevin Durant was never a leader. He even said it himself. Yeah.
I said this earlier in the stream. Kevin Durant you're talking about one of the greatest weapons in NBA history. I look at KD as a weapon. I don't look at him as a leader. KD is a weapon. He has alpha game, but KD's not a leader.
So that's what I'm saying about Russell being the alpha as far as leading the team. Kevin Durant is not like Allen Iverson. He's not a weapon or a threat, as you would say, and also a great leader.
No,
but
I don't mean
that him not being a leader doesn't affect him playing the game because he still performs.
No.
It does on a mental standpoint, on a mental level. Somebody you would be able to be acquired as a free agent as if you were a regular role player. That's the move that KD did with the Warriors. That's something guys do 17, 18 years in the league already. It doesn't happen when you're the best player in the world or top 3 and you go to the best team in the world.
But I mean, it really started with LeBron James.
Would you say his move to Brooklyn was not a alpha move?
No. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be a contender, but it's not like it
so
was.
You think he should have went to the Knicks and carried some? I mean, I'm trying to gauge what would
that
be
would have been a little more honorable. That would have been a little bit more.
I see what you're trying to say. So you want him to take some team that's not a contender and make them a contender.
That's what great players do. That's what great leaders do.
Wait a second.
That's flawed logic, though. That's flawed logic.
I need to ask you. So if we're gonna go by that same case, why did LeBron James go in Miami when Wade had already won a title and they invited Chris Bosh over?
Wait, don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun,
guys.
Go ahead. How he feels about LeBron.
Time out. Let him talk. Let him talk.
Time out.
Gotta stop you there, guys. No, we're not gonna do that. First of all, we're talking two different scenarios. Are they similar because they both went? Yeah, but here's the difference.
It's a big difference.
This is not me defending LeBron in any way, shape, or form. But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those guys were free agents. If you're looking at LeBron's case, I've said before, I hate the fact that people keep acting like him teaming up with Wade and Bosh were not a super team because, first of all, those guys were two players in the same draft as LeBron, and Chris Bosh was fourth, and Dwayne Wade was the fifth pick in the draft. You look at everything that they accomplished prior to them joining together. That's a lot of resume for them to team up, and they were expected to win. LeBron was a free agent. In his first 7 years in Cleveland, okay, he didn't get it done. He didn't have a reliable second star. So I will give everybody that. He didn't have a reliable second option. I can literally say that right now. Clearly,
he didn't.
I have a second option.
Cleveland give him all the privilege.
I just hate the fact that they say his teams were trash because it's not true. Because
it wasn't true at all, man. Yeah.
First of all, you can't tell me that a LeBron James led team that's won 50 games, that's
66 games.
Hold on. It goes further. Hold on. 50 games in the East, top 5 defense. You've had a 66-win team in 2009. You had a 60-win team the following year. You were the back-to-back reigning MVPs, and your teams were in the top 5 defensively. You can't call that trash. Now, when it comes to matchups against other teams in the playoffs, it's a little bit different. But I can't call that trash, especially when Cleveland was picked as championship contenders those 2 years that LeBron won the MVP. That's why I said I don't give him an excuse for that. Now, getting to Kevin Durant, here's the thing with KD. I was not happy when Kevin Durant had made that move when he went to Golden State, because what happened is that I already was saying that you're teaming up with Steph Curry, who was the reigning MVP that season. You're teaming up with Klay Thompson, who could be a number 2 or number 3 on just about anybody's team. Not a number 1, but a reliable number 2 or number 3.
Yeah, that was a weak ass move. Yeah.
So it was weak from that standpoint.
That was weak as fuck.
The thing was though, I understood KD over time because if we put KD, because here's the thing you gotta understand, Omar.
But I'm glad he did it.
KD,
look at Omar. He is not going. Omar is not going.
I'm glad he did it though.
Listen.
And who know why? Yep.
First of all, KD goes to any other team. That first of all, that team may get better because they get a score, but are they really championship material? Because what team can I really say that he's championship material? People were saying Boston. I don't think Boston wins a championship, even if they add Kevin Durant, because if you look at Boston's weakness, they lack interior presence, so they lack that. And I don't think just with Kevin Durant, you automatically win the title. Or you're going to be talked about in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, you'll be talking about in the East, but they're not a championship. I don't see them winning a championship.
Well, Kevin Durant couldn't have been anywhere else and been a contender.
What? Nah, you can't just say that.
No.
Oh no!
And look, here's another thing that people need to get rid of with this narrative. The Warriors built their team from the ground. They built their team from the ground up. From the draft. This whole thing that they assembled. Curry was there through the bad years. Same thing with Draymond, and same thing with Klay Thompson. They were there through the bad years.
Hey man, they was roasting Curry and them when they came out. They said Curry was never going to be anything. They said that. I read the reports. Yep.
They look down on Curry so much, and then when he wins the unanimous MVP, they're a super team now. It's like what?
Yep. So they was roasting the shit out of Curry when he first came out.
Bro, if they were a super team, first of all, let's say so. So that would imply that Klay Thompson can leave the Warriors, and freaking go to another team as the first option and dominate. And Draymond Green could go to another team in the first option and be a
Draymond Green
player.
can't go to no team and be
Draymond Green can't go. I just told you. Draymond Green goes to the Atlanta Hawks. He's putting up Stacey King numbers. I already said that.
yeah, no.
Like they'll imply that both Draymond and Klay are superstars. I think Klay is just a star to all-star level player, and I think Draymond's not even that.
Klay Thompson will never be a number one option. First of all, he can't create his own shot.
I think he can create his own shot, but he doesn't have to create his own shot. He doesn't have to. So why?
No, I think Klay Thompson. The reason why he's a weird person because he can shoot, he can do it to a certain extent, but Steph Curry with that extended pressure that he alleviates Klay Thompson with, he can just sit there and shoot. If you actually made him have to create his own shot, he would not be as good. I'm sorry.
Right.
Kevin Durant even said that when Steph Curry got injured in the back-to-back season. He said it's hard without Steph Curry. That just shows how good Steph Curry was to how much he drew the defense in to help them get these open shots.
You're right. KD was the best player, but Steph Curry was the most important player on that team, bro.
That's how it always is. For Kevin. That's how it's always been. So you can't put him in a conversation with guys like the ones we talk about. But I mean, I think he wins on Portland. I think he can go to Portland and probably do something that year. But
I think he gets to the conference finals.
I say San Antonio.
I say San Antonio. I say San Antonio.
With Kawhi. Yeah.
I think he went to San Antonio.
But he chose a 73-19.
But I mean, you gotta think about it. He's all about efficiency. That's efficient for him. Going to Golden State was totally efficient.
Right.
Why not efficient?
But on a competitive level.
And what made it so special, he could be himself with the Golden State Warriors. He ain't never had to change his game or anything. He still was playing iso ball. If you really,
he did change his game. He wanted to play the way he wanted to always play.
The thing is that the reason why I don't really round KD for that. I round from the perspective of competitiveness, but from a play style fit, he's perfect. He's exactly what Golden State need. They symbiotically, like they match each other. That's why I think he went there, because they match his game so well. They match so well together. That's the first thing.
Overwhelming.
Like they are a perfect match for each other. KD and Steph are two guys that feed off each other. Steph makes the team better, and KD makes the team unstoppable.
You said that KD can't be a leader on the team, but he's proven before that he can lead a team by himself.
When?
Without Westbrook? Multiple times.
When
he's got deep in the playoffs with Westbrook.
MVP year. His entire MVP year was basically without Westbrook. You see what kind of numbers he put up.
He put up some monster numbers, bro. KD was incredible in that year.
He made the playoffs, right? He's a superstar, but that doesn't make you a leader. Vince Carter at one point was a superstar. He wasn't an MVP level superstar, but he was in the conversation. He was in the conversation. But Kevin,
what's Vince Carter ever a superstar? That's a question right there.
But who was on his team that helped him who helped him elevate the team? Like he did all he could do on the team.
Hold on. Let me tell you something about Vince Carter. Vince Carter was superstar. He was a superstar in terms of popularity, what he did for Canada and Canadian basketball, and the hype that he got.
I don't think he was a superstar, bro.
He was a star. Yeah, I kind of jumped the gun with superstar, but he was a star. But that's
a star.
That's just the level I put KD at for what he did.
KD on Vince Carter?
No, I'm not saying like that, but on a competitive level,
wait,
competition. What would Kobe do? That's how I think. That's
You've seen what Kobe did with no help on his team.
Exactly.
You've seen what Kobe did with no help on his team.
Right.
He made the playoff once.
Kevin Durant won't ever be on that level again because
Kobe. Go ahead.
If you ask Kobe, would he prefer the individual accolades that he was getting or to win with help on his team?
Win with help.
I mean, LeBron James did the same thing when he went to Miami. Way helped him elevate. You know what I'm saying? If it's not for like, bro, let me say this. Will we be sure LeBron James will have all the championships that he has had he had never went to Miami and joined it with Dwayne Wade? Because not only would he have had a problem with meshing in a system, not only would he have a problem meshing with the system, but on top of that, Wade taught him how to win. He said this.
Yeah,
so
he said
having
it.
that winning
LeBron even played off the ball a little bit with Miami. He never did that before.
Yeah. So LeBron James was at his best when he was beside Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade made him an MVP, like one of the best MVP players of all time. His 2012-2013 season, he shot 40% from the 3-point line.
60% from the field almost. Yeah.
I mean, this dude was he was going ham. He jumped over John
The
Lucas.
game
Like,
is
oh my
made
God.
so
Like,
much
he
that
made
was
John Lucas look
incredible.
like he was a
we talking about stats right now. That's Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen. These people are going to make the game easier for you. The Warriors made the game easier for Kevin Durant. It's not about the piece,
that Miami team.
on a competitive
That's true.
level,
Like
Ray Allen saved his legacy, but go ahead. Yeah.
And on top of
on a
that,
competitive level,
now
somebody. Of course, James Harden folds at the end of the game. He got what is it called? It's like performance anxiety. What he has at the end of games, but on a competitive level, it's a lot more respectable than what a Kevin Durant would do.
I agree with that.
We talking about people being friends, the league being too friendly. If Zion Williamson and Ja Morant down the line get together, then what?
I mean, that's not really a super team, but that still would be good. I mean,
Them
it just depends on the context of the competition. Every player in the league knows when a super team is happening. Okay, for example, Miami, they literally held a press conference celebrating how many championships they were going to win. That's how insane when that junk happened. Okay,
right.
Like KD and the Warriors shook up the whole league. With DeMarcus Cousins came to the Warriors, people were like, "Oh, this is unfair," even though nobody wanted to sign DeMarcus Cousins.
And even though he didn't play,
they didn't want to sign DeMarcus Cousins because of the money he was asking for.
Yeah,
and then he finally broke down. Was like, "Hey, I'll go to the Warriors for $5 million because that's a free championship."
Yeah, but bro, like literally, I'll make it like this. Okay?
Still didn't get it. Yep,
he got a ring with the Lakers though.
Yeah,
it's like okay, people won't hold him to the same standard.
DeMarcus,
I think he got cut. I think he got cut.
No, he got cut before he got the ring. That's right. Yeah, he didn't get it. He didn't get one.
No, but once you're on the team, and then you get cut, you're still eligible to win.
It depends on when it happens.
It depends.
No, because Matt Barnes was cut. He was cut, and he still got the ring.
Varejao was cut in 2016 with the Cavs.
Yeah.
He got a ring.
But it was when DeMarcus Cousins got cut. I think that disqualifies him. It's under a certain
No.
I think
because
look it up. As long as
Matt Barnes played like 2 weeks on the Warriors, and he still got a ring with the Warriors.
Right. As long as you're on the roster at the beginning of the season, you're eligible for a championship.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think he would accept that ring.
Okay.
Matt Barnes didn't accept it.
Yeah.
Even though the Golden State Warriors were like, yeah, I mean, it just depends. Like, if DeMarcus Cousins, they don't waive DeMarcus Cousins. They don't get, the paces. Because who did they get? I think they got Dion Waiters and some. Like, who did they get? Like, for real. Like, I forget. They waived him so they can make something happen. I forget what it was.
J.R. Smith, Dion Waiters.
J.R. Smith, Dion Waiters. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So
I'm just saying, like, when it comes to super teams, players know in the context of the talent they're going up against when they're making a super team. Like, let me tell you, for the Warriors, that was a super team. The Miami Heat. Look, if it's not for LeBron James having an all-time breakdown, Miami would have three-peated, and possibly that changes history because now they would probably have a chance to have 4 instead of 3, which was the original goal. If they had that three-peat, does LeBron leave and go back to Cleveland?
God.
They did what they were going to do. They did what they were.
Maybe he doesn't go to Cleveland. Maybe he doesn't go to Cleveland.
If he gets a three-peat with Miami, does he really go back to Cleveland or does he stay?
He stays in Miami.
He would have stayed.
Yeah, because he didn't. I don't think.
Well, actually, to be honest,
depending on his relationship with Pat Riley, I think he.
We got to remember
would he have asked for? Would he have asked for Eric Spoelstra to be fired had they had a three-peat? Had he performed the way he did every other playoff run? Had he been that same level, averaged 28 points, they would have swept the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, hey, Spo the best coach he ever had.
If he had averaged 28, 8, and 8 on over 50% shooting, they're sweeping Dallas in that series.
I still don't understand how you, a player of that stature, to only score 8 points in the NBA Finals game. I'm still trying to figure that out.
LeBron is the greatest all-time journeyman the NBA has ever seen.
Yeah,
get that out of the way. We can try to put him statistically in his greatest player of all time conversation, but 4 different teams and 3 different Finals MVPs. that's not necessarily.
Hey, you know who's number 2? Kawhi Leonard.
Level.
I mean, I can't see. I don't know how that's
Kawhi Leonard number 2 journeyman.
If you literally, I think that's easier because now you're leaving a situation that's unfavorable going to another favorable situation.
But
like,
let's just say these situations. Think about it. All these great players created their own situation. Or the Allen Iversons of the world who stuck with their teams until they.
I mean, he did ask for a trade. He almost did get traded.
He didn't. Kobe Bryant, they ran him raw from 2011, did him dirty.
Almost got traded in 07. Kobe did. Almost got traded to the Pistons in 07. Yep.
You know, Kobe doesn't get no credit for those mid-2000 teams to go up to those Phoenix Suns, and people still look at Kobe funny for that Game 7 when literally in Game 6 he had 50 points and they lost by 20. And then he tries to get his team involved, and they absolutely fail him with Kwame Brown.
And Smush Parker. Yep.
But exactly. So that's a credit to his legacy, though. That's
not good criticism.
Man.
Look at the
Smush
talent.
Parker was his point guard.
Nash. Look at what Steve Nash had: prime Amari Stoudemire, prime Sean Marion, and this dude.
And Joe Johnson.
Comparing him to Kobe with Kwame Brown.
Same career defensive ratings as Scottie Pippen, by the way. Yep.
Like it's like Kobe's being more 50-win teams.
Really on Scotty.
My man is not letting up Scotty's neck.
We gotta give Scotty some kind of
bro. Look. I'll say this about Scotty. Scotty is a little bit to me like Scott. But then again, if Gary Payne had Jordan, he would have 6 rings. Gary Payne literally was probably what?
No.
If he played, if Gary Payne played with Jordan, you're telling me they don't have 6 rings?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, Ron Harper.
He won with Ron Harper. Of course, he have it with Gary Payton.
I mean, to me, Gary Payton.
We talking about
his power with John Paxson.
We talking about John Paxson, Scottie Pippen from those teams.
Do we have to remember when Gary Payne held Jordan in the games that he played against and held him to 23 points a game on 45% shooting?
Yeah, Jordan struggled against Payton, man.
This man,
like stars in the NBA.
Not only that, I think he averaged over 20 points a game while doing that.
Dennis Rodman should have won the MVP in that finals, man. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Co-MVP.
Rodman should have got the finals MVP, man. I don't care what anybody says.
And like that's just us giving proper credit to Dennis Rodman because Scottie Pippen sure did disappear like a ghost.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If the only reason Jordan got it was because of the numbers, but let's be really honest. I felt Dennis Rodman should have won MVP in '96. He was the most impactful player in that series.
I said that shit, man. I don't care what anybody says.
He could have got an Andre Iguodala Finals MVP. Yeah,
exactly.
They only give those away when you control your narrative as the greatest player of all time and good players guard you. But Dennis Rodman MVP, they don't even have a ring to it, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, but objectively, sometimes some people do deserve a ring. Other than
he deserved the MVP, man.
You think we're talking about MVP? I mean, yeah, objectively, but you're not gonna give a guy Andre Iguodala didn't deserve Finals MVP. Let's keep it 1,000.
He didn't.
Let's keep it.
I agree. He didn't deserve that.
He deserved it because he was the best player on a very old veteran team.
They should have co MVP that with David Lee. David Lee should have got a piece of it too. Shit.
Right. Another All-Star.
Yeah. Let me put it this way, y'all. Put it this way. If we was given MVP of the series in terms of the winning team, Steph Curry should have won that Finals MVP in 2015 because that was just off a narrative. But if we talking the best player who should have won the Finals MVP,
so LeBron James.
LeBron James because LeBron James.
Yeah, win or lose is LeBron.
LeBron James played awesome that series. It's just funny how people think
there's nobody there. But go ahead.
I mean, he had Matthew Dellavedova as the second option, bro. Dude,
right?
Out.
Timothy, Margot, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah. Mozgov, whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Timothy Mozgov.
Yeah.
Timothy Mozgov.
So that's
like,
easier.
Whatever this dude. Timothy Mozgov was an okay level player. Like he was barely like. Like I don't even like.
Tristan Thompson was garbage, man.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But the Golden State Warriors weren't in their peak form at that point. They were still raw. You know what I'm saying? So to compare them to the 2015, 2016 when they blossomed.
That should have been the Clippers thing, but the Clippers squandered that.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started on the Clippers, bro. Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, bro. That hurts me so badly because Doc Rivers, I mean, that team was just unlucky. If San Antonio literally had not lost to the New Orleans Pelicans in the last game of the season, they wouldn't have matched up until the conference finals. I think that series took so much out of them. If you look at the level of play they were playing at against San Antonio, I don't blame them for getting gassed out against Houston because they had Houston beat from a talent standpoint, but just the effort wasn't there because I think they had completely blew themselves out with that San Antonio series. That series was epic. It came down to a game winner in Game 7.
Yeah, that was a great series, bro.
Do we have to remember the DeAndre Jordan tipping that didn't count that saved San Antonio to get to that 7th game?
Yeah.
I mean, bro, they were balling on all sides. That's the best I've ever seen Chris Paul play. I've never seen San Antonio play that well and lose.
Yeah.
This shows how great the Clippers were and how much they squandered.
Yeah, that was a great series, man. I enjoyed that one. Hell yeah.
They did. They definitely squandered. But, I mean, hey.
It's even worse with James Harden because they had a team that's legitimate.
Did James Harden have to sit out? Did he sit out in that fourth quarter when the fucking the Rockets came? Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen players like this in every generation. It's not like James Harden is something new outside of or on a mental level. It's been guys.
I think James Harden's choking in the playoffs is a little bit overblown because, like I say, he's lost to two teams in the playoffs on the Rockets.
I'm saying, would y'all rather have James Harden or John Morant?
James Harden?
Huh?
Wait, bro, come on, man. The disrespect got to stop, bro.
I mean, from a perspective, like for me, I would take John Morant.
Of course, future-wise, I will want John Morant, but right now, I want James Harden because James Harden is the best shooting guard.
But I'm just saying. Would you rather?
It's not a debate.
If you had to choose, would you bet on John Morant's future? Would you bet on James Harden consistency?
Because James Harden is 30 years old, of course I'm not going to bet on his future.
James Harden
John Morant.
If you talking right now, I want James Harden, but in the future, it's got to be Morant. Hell yeah.
I want Morant right now. Dude literally had the toughest playoff schedule. Literally, the playing game screwed him over. If that series continues, they make the playoffs, bro, with the toughest schedule. And with no Jalen Jackson.
And lose in the first round. But they'll lose in the first round, though. It doesn't matter. They will lose in the first round.
The Rockets almost lost in the first round to Chris Paul. It
came down to
he got nearly outplayed by Louis Dort, by a dude that has Dort in his name. He got outplayed by Dort. If that's Ja Morant is not getting outplayed by Dort,
he did get 30 points in that game, man. Almost got the game winner if Harden didn't go for that block. He didn't get that block. Yeah.
James Harden was one possession away again. His career ended by Louis Dort, man with Dort. Who?
Never heard this guy in my life, man. Never knew he existed.
Dort was shooting awful in the playoffs, so he just came up and just snatched James Harden. I mean, James Harden said he played like crap. Boy. How you gonna play crap? And if it wasn't for that horrible draw a position at the
and Westbrook was so horrible, man.
Where's the slander for James Harden coming from?
I'm not slandering. James Harden is overrated. I'm sorry, I gotta say James Harden is overrated.
Wait. Yeah. It depends on how you rate him, though. I mean,
he's not a top 5 player. I'm sorry.
And of course, he's not a top 5 player.
He's not a top 5.
He's top 10. Luka's better than
top 5 right now.
James Harden.
I still take James Harden. I take James Harden over Luka.
I take Luka had pretty.
Okay, bro. You gotta slow down.
If the Clippers were playing the Rockets would get destroyed.
Yeah, because the Mavs are.
It would be a complete mismatch for the Clippers.
No, what? Oh my.
Huh?
Zubac and Montrez down low in the post where Westbrook lives and eats, and so does James Harden.
Oh my God, bro!
I mean, you probably got the perimeter matchup of Kawhi. Wait. James. I'm taking James' offense over Kawhi's defense. Number one.
And who else? Russell Westbrook's negative 25 per game. Negative 25. Wait.
Are we really saying the Rockets over the Clippers?
What?
No way.
I'm weak.
We're talking about a team that's been to 2 conference finals where the Clippers haven't.
Bro. But they faced. Oh my God, bro. I'm just gonna have to look at you crazy with the Ang shades, okay?
Oh no.
Okay, you can see this face. This is the face I'm making, okay?
Why are we taking the Clippers over the Rockets?
Rockets play small ball. Their center is 6'5".
Imagine what PJ Tucker and Montrez and Zubac gonna do to them down low.
Fuck out of here, man.
It was a
PJ Tucker. Enough said.
Ooh.
Fellas. This has been fun, but I'm gonna put an end to this stream right now because I gotta get ready for work tomorrow and stuff like that. But I want to thank all of y'all for coming through. I mean, this was a lit stream. Omar, thank you for coming through, man, and putting your points to it. You're more than welcome to come on the chat anytime.
I'm gonna be back, definitely.
Yeah. All right, man. So this has been fun, man. Salute to you guys.
Definitely been fun. Definitely.
Salute.
Yo, definitely subscribe. Make sure to like the videos. Make sure you guys share this on your social media platforms. This is your boy Lewis, as my man Ryan over says. Chat together, stream together, family for life. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to you guys on the panel. Everybody bless up, live, laugh, love. I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy, get rest, man. And Lewis Sports Network, like I always says, man. And
right now, the Giants turn to try and answer. And here's Saquon Barkley.